he thinks that she's gonna eat it up. She's gonna think it's like the best thing in the world. And then she gets back to him like, I am very, very worried. I knew the paranoia was gonna...
That's for the dishwashing. Where's my phone?
I got it.
My mouth. That's my, is that Nick Nolte?
I thought you were like ramping into a Barney Gumble. Sounded like it was coming.
Yeah.
So what is coming for all these ladies and genitals?
Wow.
Wow! Sheets. Little background story before the background story, or what?
It's I want to race straight into it. However, yeah, maybe.
I thought Escaping from LA had a long intro credits.
Yeah,
This was some credits.
We're in some mean trouble here, dog.
Yeah. Movies don't usually get prologues.
No, but there definitely is a foreword up on this one.
Yeah.
By a gentleman. Publisher of some sort.
You get yanked by that? Like that song was there.
Yeah. These are here to break the landing.
Yeah,
of the inevitable.
Yeah. So what's that man's name? Got a name? We don't even have to name him.
Who cares? Miscellaneous gentleman.
Yeah.
The one who basically moved this thing from basement to
basement.
He's the first set of eyes.
He brought it to us.
Yeah.
First set of eyes on this.
Yeah. John Kennedy Toole's mom, Thelma.
Yeah.
11 years posthumous. So, he passed away, young John Kennedy Toole, at his own hand, back in 69, I think.
Yeah.
And then in 80, this gentleman got hold of this manuscript.
Yeah.
And, despite asbestos spraying or... gets a read on it, and so you got a hold of all this part as well. But basically, he couldn't put it down. He's like, it's gonna be shit. It's gonna be fine. I'll say, lady, no thanks. I don't need to read this thing. And
yeah, I love that.
He's like, oh no.
Worst case scenario, it's good.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And, it wasn't shit. And he couldn't realize it was some kind of cult masterpiece. Became a mainstream masterpiece.
Did it become mainstream?
At some point, it won a Pullitzer. So that's shooting straight to the top.
I know Washington Post called it a real corker.
Corker?
Which,
what is that?
It reminds me of Shadow of a Doubt. When the guy gets the watch, and he's like, the people at the farm are going to think I'm a real sport.
Yeah.
Corker.
Yeah, and this is 80.
Yeah.
That's hip language for 80?
Yeah. I guess so. I guess they tried to make it a little sound more like of the time it was written, maybe. Corker was huge in the 60s, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, and it's got to be bad slang somewhere, though.
Yeah. I loved when he was like, everyone loves it, and for once, everyone is right. And that battle of tragedy and comedy, I was like, I can't. Yeah, it is funny, but I can't call it a comedy. Mm-hmm. He calls it it's a true to life comedy. It's true to life dialogue, masterful comedy, but it's hard to call it a comedy because the real tragedy lies with that we didn't get anything more from this writer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And interestingly, like a little bit from his life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Went into this, but also this place is geographically mappable because they're going to real life landmarks down in New Orleans.
Yeah, exactly.
In the setting of this thing.
Yeah. And that's, a big part of why we brought it here also is because it's almost deemed unfilmable.
Yeah.
I guess there's been a couple times you were saying that they did try to film it, but it never came through.
Yeah, the last time had a lot of big names connected with it, but it's one of those ones that Belushi was going to do it, Chris Farley was going to do it.
Love it, love it.
John Goodman was going to do it.
Too old.
But he's from Louisiana, and yeah, you're right, it was a bit later on, because this guy is only 30 or so. Main
well, it would have had to be in like the 90s or something that they were actually thinking about filming it.
Yeah.
If it just got big in the 80s.
Mm-hmm. Well, Harold Ramis was going to do it with Belushi, I think. But it's a bad time.
Yeah.
Bad period of time.
Yeah, it would have been right around that time, I bet. So let's start that off because that was a big thing I want to talk about during the course of this. Is who do you picture playing our main character, Ignatius J. Riley?
That is
You got a face? I got a face.
Like I've seen Nick Offerman as him. He's the closest one but he did it for a play. You can catch a couple glimpses of it. They must have a no cell phone thing because you can catch like 40-second.
But don't you think he seems a little too old for?
Oh yeah, he is definitely for sure. But you gotta take some liberty. But someone who could be like just around 30, like maybe a little bit older. That's an existing actor.
You think you could make a good Ignatius?
I'm going for young dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I was a good actor, maybe. But
I was just joking. Don't think about that. Cast this puppy.
Fuck.
We're gonna go through this.
Who's even up?
We're gonna make this film. We're gonna choose the director and everything.
He's the dude from
Gotta be.
Oh yeah.
Is that
too
not
old,
Ignatius?
Too old.
Really?
Too old, too short.
No.
Yeah, too short. This dude is towering. You're going with that Tom Cruise's Jack Reacher shit.
Oh man, that is Ignatius.
You would think. He's who I crossed my mind, but in the game of Guess Who, he got knocked down for is your guy tall and is your guy
But my guy's existent.
Yeah.
I have a guy.
Yeah.
Paul Walter Hauser is who.
John Candy was the guy. He was in The Contender. He would have done it because he was a big, tall dude. I can see the pros though of this guy.
Yeah.
And Richard Jewell.
Is he overly short?
He smashes the back of I, Tonya there.
Yeah.
Nancy Kerrigan.
Yeah. Well, how amazing is that side by side of the interview that he does and the interview that the actual guy does? Have you seen that?
Huh? Oh,
like you said the guy's name that actually did do the I, Tonya, like who he plays in I, Tonya.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I don't know. He was.
Oh, I thought you said it.
Oh no, I said Nancy Kerrigan.
Oh,
that was the other.
Yeah. But you should see because he does that little interview at the end where he's like talking about how he works with the CIA and all this. But then you see the side-by-side of the guy that actually did do an interview.
Yeah.
And it's just perfect.
Yeah.
It's gold.
Yeah, no, he's perfect.
I didn't know he was short, though.
He's got to be.
Yeah.
I think he's under 3.
Oh, yeah?
No.
100?
No. He's like probably 5'4" or something.
Because I pictured the mother to be a lot smaller than him. So, yeah. It's hard to find. The shorter he is, the harder it is to find the mother.
It's got to be this is like one of this dude's strengths is being tall.
Yeah. Yeah. Not that many apple boxes in Louisiana, I don't think.
No, that's right.
A lot of apples come from Louisiana.
Oh, that was the other thing. Like the last one that was going to be made, Katrina. Devastated the place.
Great Fortuna spun the wheel.
You telling me? Yeah.
You're telling me Fortuna doesn't want this film made?
Yeah, and a lot of the places in this book were damaged during. But most of them are still standing. Some are like historical landmarks now.
Yeah.
He's got a statue outside of the place at the beginning. We'll get to in a second.
John Kennedy?
No.
Or Ignatius Riley?
Ignatius Jock Riley.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Under the clock at D.H. Holmes.
Wow. That's amazing. How big? Life size?
Staggeringly tall.
Really?
Well, I don't know. He's not that big in it. I don't know. He's there. Got to go check it out.
Yeah. Is it bigger than our buddy Paul Walter Hauser?
Well, I got to get a side-by-side of him with it. That's what I got to do a Google search for.
Yeah.
Or at least an AI interpretation, see how they get it.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe or maybe not. This film might be unfilmable, and it might even be uncastable.
Yeah. That's what they once thought of Don Quixote.
Yeah, I wanted to look that up too. He does make reference to Don Quixote.
Yeah,
in the
interestingly
epilogue
enough.
there.
Yeah.
It's like the poor man's Don Quixote.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's a French settler reference. Can't remember. Anyways.
So, and also, this thing is called
The Confederacy of Dunces.
Yeah. And it's not one of those things where they make you wait to figure out what it means. They tell you right up front in the quote. It's like...
Don't look at me for the quote, pal.
Yeah. it's to the effect of when a genius shows up, you'll know it because the dunces will be in confederacy against him.
Yeah. And that leads into our main character.
This is our guy?
Yeah.
It's gonna be some theater of the mind. Like, this is a journey of discovery for sure, eh? You're not even seeing the guy?
Yeah, you can see that on the first page, it's a perfect example of what's going to get lost when this becomes a film. Because there's so much description. Mm-hmm. You know, you're... like heavy description just on his wardrobe alone and how he feels about wardrobe and how he judges people on their wardrobe. And like there's so much right away.
You're saying you can't just have him take a look at someone, does a face.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's the thing, but the beauty of this, there's a lot of the beauty of this novel that would get lost in that transition right away. Mm-hmm. But even, you get to see that he has a blue and yellow eye. What color's the eye you got after Escape from LA?
Haven't been able to bear to look in the mirror.
In there?
Nothing. I'm going full Johnny Depp in Once Upon a Time in Mexico on this son.
And he's...
Let me know if I tear up. It might be red.
Well, even when... so he's waiting... waiting for his mother to get out of a store.
Yeah, so they're down there for a doctor's appointment.
Yeah.
And she's in there buying some goodies. Buying a bunch of... Man, it's a mouth-watering book, man.
Yeah.
Right off the hop, we're talking about... I had to Google what a wine cake was. I was convinced that I was going to be like, probably gross.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good.
Okay.
Looks pretty juicy.
Nice.
Comes in the description, though.
Yeah.
So, fair game. So yeah, he wants to... This is the most relatable thing. Is
That's just a play on words? Juicy wine cake?
Yeah. It's gotta be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fermented
It
juice.
almost looks like a lava cake.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
I was picturing rum cake. Except purple.
Yeah. Ghastly.
Yeah.
Be beets in it. Wouldn't it? But the most relatable thing is, like, he's going around. He wanted to play the baseball game at this penny arcade.
Yeah.
Real place. But he's out there and he's doing some sucky stuff. He's getting some sheet music for his tuba. He buys a lute string, an individual one.
Yeah.
And
Most of this doesn't have it.
yeah.
It's nowhere's in the rest of the novel, by the way.
Yeah, but I guess if it's this Pat the Dog moment, that's his how he feels about this baseball game, which is obviously an analog style game, almost like foosball or something.
Yeah.
But they had
I'm picturing like the old board hockey.
yeah,
Where the
yeah, exactly. I gotta look it up. It sounds like fun. I can't even imagine
tell
one of
the
them.
picture?
Yeah, whipping it.
Yeah.
And he's just like hoping and praying that this thing is having a safe journey going to get repaired.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, this is our guy.
Yeah.
You know, he sounds loathsome.
Yeah. And right away you can tell, just because he's shitting on people around him, you can tell that you think you get a good sense of the character just from this one scene, right?
Yeah, he's a little prejudiced.
Yeah. And then...
He's got high ideals.
just as you don't know how much you like this guy, you know, he gets quickly put on the defense when this officer comes up.
Absolutely accosted him.
Yeah. Officer Angelo Mancuso
Yeah.
stops him.
Yep. No license. I don't drive.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. And the voice, he's got that, is that New Orleans? It would be more Kentucky or something. I say. That kind of accent.
Foghorn Leghorn.
Yeah. No one really has the same accent, so it's not it's not very regional.
Yeah. So he's all pissed off. He's like, with all these vagrants, prostitutes, strippers, drug dealers, I'm the one getting the shit here.
Yeah. And just how he says that, how it comes off his tongue, all the different...
I'm going to contact the mayor.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But how he lists off all those fornicators,
Yeah.
poker players,
Yeah.
homosexuals.
Yeah. And his mom's fucking coming out with the fucking cakes in hand, dozens of them for this.
And the crowd's really forming around.
Yeah.
Quite the commotion.
She's got elbow arthritis and other ailments, and like he's a good boy.
Yeah.
So she's trying to get him out of this jam. This other old man is trying to
Comes
intervene.
to his aid, but he throws out the C word, doesn't he?
Oh, fuck it. Hey, see you next Tuesday, cop.
No, not that C word.
No.
The other C word.
Communist.
Communist. Everything goes wild.
No T at the
Whoa!
end. Communist.
Yeah, shit gets real crazy then.
Yeah, mobbed.
And all the heat gets taken off of Ignatius, and him and his mother get out there and leave the dust ball there rolling around the streets.
Able to just kind of sidle off there into some side streets.
Yeah.
Off a canal.
Yeah. Gloria.
Gloria?
And you hear the old guy gets arrested. In the background, you can hear him getting arrested, and he's saying, "No, don't do it. My daughter will be worried sick about me."
Yeah. Yeah, don't call her to come get me. Don't do nothing.
Yeah.
Communist. Meanwhile, our guy wanting to get off, be able to call Myrna Mink off as soon as possible.
Yep.
And, tell her about this lengthy indictment that he's been writing on the entire century so far.
Yeah. And they even talked to her, or she's even mentioned in the intro. Mm-hmm. It's like the mom says that he has to get out of the house. His girlfriend says that he needs sex immediately. Mm-hmm. Just kind of saying all the different outlooks of the people closest to him. Yeah, I got it.
Sorry, you say outlook is.
She is already mentioned in the intro. It says that he has a girlfriend in the intro because it says that he's just
weird circumstance.
Yeah, he's been going downhill lately. The mother thinks that he has to, I forget what it is, get out of the house or something. But he's like, but his girlfriend thinks that he needs sex immediately.
Yeah.
Which is an ongoing debate between them. Mm-hmm.
But right now...
Does he write a letter to her yet? Or he just mentioned her saying he wants to get to her right away?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Okay. Right now, we're just amidst this getaway. Yeah. His mom's rushing him down the road. Yeah. He's slow down.
Yes, my legs are tired.
Yeah, my heart murmur.
Yeah, my valve.
Yeah. She's like, there's nothing wrong with your heart.
Yeah.
Like, well, there's gonna be.
Yeah, exactly. I love
Keep going like this.
He's such a... what's it called? I can't believe.
Oh. Just close your eyes, visualize. We're running down towards Bourbon Street. He's gonna hemorrhage.
He's gonna hemorrhage.
He's prone to collapsing.
Yeah.
He's collapsed several times.
Yeah. This is where he even talks about when he went on the double-decker bus.
Well, yeah, so they get... Oh.
I was sick for a month.
This when he went to Baton Rouge?
Yeah.
This is the story.
We're getting to it.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think he makes reference to it while they're walking because they keep bringing it up over and over again.
Yeah, this is his go-to story. Yeah. And it's like not even dramatic, but to him, he's just like...
Then everyone starts basing his whole character off this one story. They keep the guy with the double-decker bus story.
Yeah, yeah, he fucking tells it wherever he goes.
I was sick for a month.
Green cap.
Yeah.
So they duck into a bar here.
Which, it's 25 minutes in before they get to this scene. And I don't know, like...
Out of 13 hours?
Like, that's the thing. You think of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. How much stuff got cut out of that novel. Mm-hmm. But there's... how many pages is the novel?
405 pages.
See, that's not even that bad.
No. By audio wise, it's like a few hours for 100 pages.
Yeah.
So you can see it's like almost 4 hours for 100 pages. So you can...
So you think this is going to be like a 3-hour movie? I think you could really skip... Yeah, you could cut out... I don't even know if you'd have to cut out that much. Because it seems like so much of this is description.
It's concise, but it happens over a period of time. A few weeks or something. It's not over one night.
No.
Like Catcher in the Rye or something.
Yeah. Yeah, so they duck into the bar.
And it's not as long as the Goldfinch as far as the span of that thing.
Yeah.
Half a...
Which is the Goldfinch again?
It's Donna Tartt. It was also, I think it was a Pulitzer as well, 2014 or something. But it had Wolf from... It was made into a movie. It's got
Maybe that's what
the
I've heard
dude
of it.
from American Fiction, right?
Oh, Jeffrey?
Yeah, he's one of the main dudes in it. But it has like Wolf Finhart. What the fuck is his name? It's the Stranger Things dude.
Oh, yeah.
It's got him in it as when the dude's young, but then he grows up and he's like, in his 30s or something.
Okay.
In the second half-ish.
Yeah. Maybe that's why I know about it, because of the movie.
The movie doesn't really do the book justice.
Yeah. But like that 25 minutes to get them into the bar, that could be like a 7 minutes of a film. So you would be able to go a little bit quicker. And save some space. Save some time there. So they duck into, and this is the Night of Joy?
The Night of Joy, yeah. It's miscellaneous bar on Bourbon Street.
Yeah. And even how they describe this place. So dark you can hardly see anything, any decoration on the wall.
Yeah.
Layer of dust over everything.
Yeah. And it's annoying to get a drink. You're just trying to get a little chicory coffee here.
Yeah.
All they get is this instant shit.
Yeah.
Where's
the gourmet shit?
And his mom was like, get a beer. And we're like, yeah, get a beer. Be a guy.
Yeah, exactly. Dr. Nut.
Yeah. And so she wants the Dixie 45.
Yeah.
Which is real beer. They make in Wisconsin now, but
Green Bay.
It was a Louisiana one back in the day.
There's another reference to Green Bay later on.
Yeah, shit. And no cold Dr. Nut, a real drink as well that disappeared and then came back and it tasted different and
is it a beer?
Again. No, it's like a
non-alcoholic,
like a cola. But it's got like a nutty tone to it.
Who is this guy?
Yeah, it sounds like a bit of a repulsive drink, but I imagine like a Dr. Pepper or something for some reason.
What do you got against Dr. Pepper?
It's just like the vein I feel like this is in.
Yeah. Dr. Pepper is the oldest cola,
Is it?
Yeah.
Coldest Ola?
Way older than Coke or Pepsi.
Damn.
Yeah. And Norwegians
drink
it warm.
It sucks.
Drink it warm.
Yeah.
At Christmas time.
Room temperature.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the Swedish is their drink.
Yeah.
The one you get at IKEA around Christmas.
I never heard it. Sounds IKEA.
Yeah. You'll come across one of these days and you won't drink it.
Yeah.
Especially at room temperature. It sounds like the least refreshing thing of all time.
Have you ever tried Vegemite?
No, never been to Australia.
I smelled it.
Or had anyone be able to smuggle it out.
They're all eating it on the set of Only Game in Town.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Stuart likes it because he's from over there.
How eccentric.
Yeah. Stuart likes it. No one knows who the fuck Stuart is.
Looks sick.
Yeah.
You're gonna get me on a reaction video in front of a little green screen, chowing down on it, giving my opinion.
Canned food is a perversion.
Yeah, Canada tries Australia food.
It's very damaging to the soul.
What was that, ZipRecruiter?
No, yeah. My grinder, we got a match. Says he's 2 feet away from me. And she starts calling him out I guess it would just be like coming from her point of view for a second, where there's talking about how he has done temper tantrums in the past.
Oh, he's dramatic.
It was like when she brought him to church, he just collapsed and planked.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't know planking was a thing since the 60s. I thought that was a new age thing.
Like boredom's been around since 1850.
Sure, he's the inventor of the plankton?
I feel like it, though.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that what his statue is? Just laying on the ground? It would make sense later on. It's like the clipping.
Yeah. Just across the top of like a
you have to walk
like
over
a bench. Right.
You have to walk over them to get in the store.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah. Frog jump them.
Yeah. And while they're sitting down, they get to meet a friend.
Yeah.
Darlene.
She seems like a nice lady in this scene. She's being quite kind to him and her.
Yeah.
It almost seems like you got a little bit of a vibe happening for a second there.
She's got some treats for them.
Yeah.
Some coffee cakes or whatever she gives them.
Mm-hmm. That's what his mom got stashed away in her bag. And she's offering them out to everybody around there. Building up her graciousness.
Yeah.
Pounding back Dixie 45s. Slam, slam, slam. Oh, yeah. Talking about her doctor's appointment. It's like, oh, yeah, my arthritis is going to have to rub this one out. He's like, I ain't rubbing your elbows. I hope you don't think that. It's not taking off his hat in there.
Yeah. I love how he has that excuse for everything. Like, even when he's like, oh, I probably should drive you around, Mum, but no, I can't. It makes me dizzy.
Yeah. You remember when I was on the bus?
Yeah, exactly. That's how it gets into it.
Yeah. Hates it outside of the city. Went to Baton Rouge one time. That's his only time outside of New Orleans.
Yeah. Yeah, and you get really small world vibes in this whole film.
Yeah.
Like, nothing leaves this couple blocks that this novel takes place on.
Yeah.
Like, I'm probably going to call it a film for the rest of the episode.
But his fucking...
In my head, man, I've been watching this whole thing.
So his story about the bus is just like... So we were going on the bus to Baton Rouge, and I don't know how people can travel anywhere. They must have iron stomachs.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Because I'm sick as fuck here.
Yeah.
And so he ended up having to... Hated his time. Had to get a cab back.
Yeah.
Like the great expense, great annoyance, great hubbub overall. And the guy got pulled over a bunch of times for driving under the speed limit.
Yeah.
So he hated.
But he was probably asking him to drive slow.
Yeah, he was. He insisted, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And it's just the worst story.
Yeah.
And he's already
no
told
one
it.
can get away from it.
Yeah,
I know, you keep hearing it over and over.
3 times that night already since they've been in the bar. This is our first time, but his mom is flat out sick of it.
Yeah. And then the only thing that's brought up as much as the Baton Rouge story is the kerfuffle that he was out there with Mancuso.
Oh, yeah.
Because then that starts getting brought into the bar.
Oh, yeah.
When Jones walks in.
Burma.
Wow!
Wow.
And it is funny because this is where, like, reading a novel and you're putting the picture in your head. Like, I just pictured this really small place with just a bar. But then when Jones comes in, they start talking about, like, back corners and booths and stuff like that. And the bar starts expanding in this scene. Because there's even another guy. I don't know if... Oh, yeah, because Claude comes into it later. Mm-hmm. The older gentleman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He comes back around.
Every single person just starts piling into this one bar. And
no, I don't think the old dude shows up in this scene. But...
or is it just Jones that's talking about it?
Because he's off in jail.
Yeah.
It does... he is hanging with Mancuso, though. And they're having a bit of an interaction there.
Oh, that's what it is. Mancuso's in there. I ain't worried about the cashews. I didn't have no cashews. Yeah, and this is where they really start. And this is where I didn't know where this was going to go, because it just seems like they're just hitting these two things over and over again. That it seems like, is this what the whole thing, the whole novel's going to be about? When are they going to get off this? You think that, like, you know, maybe this would be stretched out a bit more, or are they going to get over this in the first chapter?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't know where it's headed at all, do you?
Yeah, everything keeps expanding, and then, like, at the same time getting more encased with one another.
Yeah. Berman comes in, and
Like
you're right, the
cop back
cashews.
already? Yeah.
That's an easy thing to miss.
Yeah.
That the reason he went to jail and became a vagrant,
Yeah.
or I guess he's trying to avoid vagrancy,
Yeah.
but he needs to get a job. But that's what he did. He stole cashews from a department store.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he's got to work at this place, and
Well, he doesn't get the job yet.
no, sure wouldn't.
But she really starts harping on Ignatius, Miss Riley, talking about how he went to college.
Oh yeah, he's smart enough.
He graduated smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does that sound like to you? Now he does absolutely nothing. He's wasting the system. This guy's a fucking punk, man.
Can't stand him.
Fuck Matthew Lillard. This is who people should be looking up to. This guy's punk. Everything he does, man.
Yeah, he's got a real punk attitude.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah, like it almost has the rigidness of like a church person, but he also went at odds with the church, Catholicism, and the father.
There's a big brain on Brad here.
yeah, he's opinionated.
Yeah. And Darlene, he starts rubbing Darlene the wrong way. She keeps saying, "Oh, you got to start treating your mother better."
And he blows it with Darlene on the hop.
Oh yeah. Well, the mother doesn't help.
Yeah.
She's really just met her. I guess the whole thing with the cop rubbed her the wrong way, but it seems like right off the bat is when she's just letting loose about the whole thing. There's no build up.
Yeah. Why you gotta be in trouble all the time, boy?
Yeah. And she's just put on as the drunken mother, and you don't know if is he really that bad? Is this like a Munchausen thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, is it her fault that he's like this?
Mm-hmm.
But
I'll have another.
She doesn't necessarily try to keep him in the house throughout the whole thing.
No. Certainly doesn't.
In fact.
Yeah.
It seems like she can't wait to get rid of him.
Bit of an enabler with him.
Yeah, exactly. But, stuff starts really ramping up when they do leave the bar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they do eventually have to go home.
Yeah.
Well, they want to get a bite to eat, so they stop by a hot dog stand. But she's like, no way. And he's also bitching about other stuff, a hat from his childhood that he liked.
Yeah, exactly. You sold it?
That was my childhood memories you stole for just a fucking 6 pence.
Yeah. How much of it do you have left?
Yeah.
Gonna buy a hot dog.
Yeah.
And they do a good job sprinkling some foreshadowing in there. Mm-hmm. Hot dog vendor. Yeah. Also, there's references to the packages behind the bar.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure in the first chapter.
Yeah. Lana Lee runs the bar.
Yeah, but she's not there in the first scene, is she? I don't think it would be...
No, there's another dude tending bar.
Okay, maybe it's when Jones goes back.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the guy tending bar. Someone does mention the packages really early on.
I think his name's Ben or something.
So they're heading to the car, and he's like, "How far is the car?"
Oh my god. Such a wet blanket.
Yeah, exactly.
God damn.
And then he gets all hopped up when he sees the hot dog vendor. He goes over there.
And she's like, "No, we're not eating a friggin' hot dog. We'll get something else."
Yeah. And then talking about wanting to see some ladies.
Yeah. Well, even at the bar, she's like, "There's going to be strippers here probably tonight."
Yeah.
You know, she's not all that weird about it.
Yeah. And,
So of course he's the passenger because he don't drive, and so Mama, couple deep, gonna.
And they really make you.
I think the weather's a little bit shitty. but that's just one contributing factor here.
Yeah, because they talk about the design of the car, and it has a really high top on it. I hope that doesn't bite you in the ass. And then he sits in the back, taxi driver style, or chauffeur style.
And he's freaking out already because she's getting out of the spot, and I think she's like scuffing up cars or shit.
Yeah. Drinking and driving. And he's a literal backseat driver for sure. And they're just talking. I don't think she really goes anywheres, and then she just kind of hits the gas and goes straight into a balcony.
Yeah, it's a building for sure.
Yeah. And I love the dialogue here.
Oh, where he's freaking out.
Yeah. And he says, she's like, "What should I do?" He's like, "Put the automobile in reverse and casually."
No, let's just leave the scene.
Yeah. I have it in here somewhere.
We need to get out of here.
No. He's like, "You have just ruined my stomach for a week. They probably grease the streets at nighttime trying to make people cry."
Yeah, that's true. They're like, they make all their money from people crashing into the building.
Yeah. "Put the automobile in reverse and back gracefully away."
Gracefully.
Yeah. But then also like a perfect blend of dialogue and description where they're saying like the splintering of wood and scraping of metal as they're trying to pull away from it. He says to pull away gracefully, but it's just like the least graceful thing as they go, and it's like
it's like pulling off the muffler.
When you're impaled with something, it's like never take it out. So you're taking it out, and everything just starts falling. Some wrought iron comes right through the windshield. Just gets worse and worse.
Yeah, this thing is totaled.
Yeah. But yeah, I think there is reference to her just being a bad driver in general.
Yeah.
Because the car was already scratched up. But
Dinged.
then later on, someone shows up at her house and she's driven right into her deck. There's like planters all over her car and shit. So it's a bit of a theme going on with maybe sometimes you're like, maybe she's just being made out to be a bad drunk. Because she's always defending herself about not being a bad drunk. But she keeps getting that reputation. But there's some evidence behind it.
Yeah, no, he's always like saying that she's like out of control drunk. It's coming up later in phone calls that people thinking she's drunk.
I know. I love the best part. I think the best insult that he has against his mother is someone's like, "Where's your mom?" He's like, "Probably failing a blood test right now."
Yeah, you don't got much love for her at or
he's like that piece of shit 5-year-old kid or like 10-year-old kid, but in a 30-year-old man's body.
Yeah, he's terrible.
Such a big baby.
Yeah,
I kind of picture 13 Ghosts. Do you remember the baby and the mother?
Vaguely.
It's like this huge overgrown baby and then the tiny mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely the vibes of something like that.
Yeah.
But then, like, once they do handle all of that, it shifts back to Patrolman Mancuso there. It's like straight away, basically.
Yeah. Starts setting him up with his failures.
Oh, yeah. No, they're like...
Getting some guff around the station.
Like, I didn't realize this was how a police force operated.
I know.
This
was like fun and games.
Yeah.
It was nice to hear this. It was like, okay, this is, this is going to get a little crazy here.
Yeah. They demote him basically to busting gays in bathroom stalls. Down in terminals and, he's a gotcha cop.
But the costumes.
Yeah.
He has to wear a different costume every day until he actually arrests someone.
But they get a big selection.
I know. Where do these come from?
Yeah.
These can't be the undercover costumes.
Oh my god. And we'll find out a bit later some of these things.
Ballet tights and a yellow sweater. Costume number 1. This might even have no. This isn't even with the red beard yet.
See, these are fun.
Yeah, a different costume every day. Then as he's going around, he says that he's desperate. I'm sure every patrolman wants an arrest. I guess, or I guess being a patrolman, you probably don't want an arrest.
Yeah.
But then, being put in the situation where you need an arrest.
Yeah.
He's just it's
got to meet a quota, as they would say.
And
but don't say.
It seems like maybe he was already on this. The way that he came up to Ignatius. He's just trying to prove himself, right?
Yeah, and he's
like, it looks like he's already. He wasn't in a costume or anything.
Yeah, this isn't that out of the ordinary. You're right. He comes up just fucking gotcha-ing everyone, and now he's
because there was two
so
circumstances.
This is a lateral move. It's not a demotion.
Yeah. And one of the situations is that he went up to this guy and got slapped in the face.
Hey, that comes back.
Yeah, exactly. And then he's like, they're saying that he's still walking around rubbing his face from the pain of the slap, and he just so happens to come around and see the crashed vehicle, and that's how the chapter ends. Is Mancuso on scene. He sidles onto the crime scene.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought that was a pretty great transition. Like a perfect end of a chapter. That you're like, okay, this guy's going to come back.
It's the inciting incident.
You can see that, okay, I am going to get not only an arrest, but he has a vendetta against Ignatius now. No guff with the slapper.
So where are you at with it at this point?
And he's like, you know what? I'm going to fuck his mom. So I was... The only part in chapter 1 that kind of was losing me was just the round and round and round of in the bar. They were just like, I was almost like, come on, let it go, because it takes up a lot of time. The way that they're going on and on about I think they keep going to the Baton Rouge, and they're talking about the communism clod and all that.
Yeah, you really nail the shooting the shit in a bar, saying the same things over and over.
Yeah.
I didn't even really think about it authentically, but the way you describe is like exactly like if it was to happen to you.
Yeah. And like you're the audience is like the sober guy in the bar being like, listen to all these fucking drunk, even though one of them's a cop and one of them, I don't know if Jones was drunk.
No.
But just the noise pollution.
He did have cool space age glasses on.
Who do you think? Who would you cast for Jones? Got to be LeVar, right?
Oh yeah, he'd be trekking.
Who else wears the space ages?
Yeah, that's right.
Or are we gonna go more modern? Who would you cast for Jones? Jonathan Majors?
Yeah.
Can we bring him back yet, or
too soon?
Or where do you think? I guess Robert Downey Jr. He's taking all his other roles.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
he could play Jones.
He could, yeah.
I thought the guy's name was Jones in Tropic Thunder. Ancestor. Oh, so your original question. So I started getting lost in the bar scene. But the dialogue and the action of them driving into the... Like, he's the hero of this in every step, because just listening to this guy talk, especially because I was doing the audiobook, I didn't read it. So just the accent, I'm a big accent guy, so he was just drawing me in. Just the way that he speaks was just so interesting, right?
Yeah.
You just wanted to hear him talk. And just the buffoonery, too. Because he's so eloquent, but at the same time he's just such a bum. Right? It's just such a contrast of character. And then I loved the description of how the crash and how the balcony came down on top of them. So I was really liking that. And then the inciting incident, like you said, when Mancuso comes back and is like, Chapter 2, I was like, oh, okay, now that makes me want to see more.
Yeah.
Or hear more, read more.
Yeah.
I'm invested.
Yeah. And it's like clear what's going on.
Yeah.
There's like an issue that has taken place. And did you have any
It's happening.
Fucking how late night is it? Okay, so did I answer it correctly? You got more?
No, I was just interested in seeing like what you would have thought about it at this point, because I don't know what you had as far as expectations for what this was going to entail.
None.
And at this point, did you have any like speculations of where it might go? Because you're already with this character, now there's suddenly...
No, because I feel like I was actually curious of where it's going to go when they're at the bar. Mm-hmm. Like I was, a little resistant in the scene to like really get attached to the story. But then it happened as soon as they left the bar and stuff started moving.
Yeah.
And then like stuff really starts moving in this, in the novel. And I loved actually the transition of like how it went to chapter 2 and now he's back at his house, goes to his man cave, and you just get to, you saw so much of his external, now you really get to see his internal as he's there. You start listening about all the tablets that he has, and you find out that he's a writer.
Yeah,
Start warming up to this guy a little bit.
Yeah, so he's a writer. And also, should mention that in his first little scrap with Mancuso there, he hit him with his sheet music and whipped him on the ear, so he lashes out too.
Oh, yeah.
But, right now he's just bathing in his own disgusting fucking bedroom.
Yeah. But he has so many... tablet papers on the floor. You can't even see the floor. He just says, and that's like the classic, I'm sure John Kennedy Toole probably had a similar floor in his room.
Yeah.
And you can't help but wonder how much of this he's drawn from his own personal life and like how the mother is the one to bring this.
Yeah.
It just seems odd.
Yeah.
Like maybe he was in a similar situation living with his mother.
Maybe. It's hard to say, right? I don't know that much about, like, other than that he did draw some of this from real life, but I don't know how much of that aspect.
Yeah. And this is one of the parts that I did get to listen to again. And I found, going back, I realized that the first little writing that he does is, he's very well worded.
Yeah.
And he's opinionated, he knows, he's got focus. What he's trying to say, but no real inspiration.
No.
What he's writing is just like, this is what's on my mind, and it doesn't really have anything to do with what's going on. It doesn't really point you in the direction of how this novel's going to go.
Yeah.
But then everything he writes later on, he's got a little more enthusiasm because it's actually got something to draw off of.
Right.
So it seems like that is almost a... play on his whole character, is that he's just so stagnant. He's plateaued. He doesn't know what to do with himself, so he's just too comfortable for his own good.
Yeah, and he's always trying...
Settling. He's settled.
Yeah.
He's a settler.
And he's really looking for something to write about as well, and something to go against effectively, so that he can parallel his paramour, Myrna, who's like a radical.
Yeah, no, always up to something.
Yeah.
Seems so exciting, the life she lives.
Organizing protests and doing all this kind of shit.
This would be also something that would... Some of the beauty of this novel that would get lost. Because they do so much description on the room. And you get so much background story on this character. That would be lost unless there's like narration. You wouldn't get to find out so much about this guy.
No.
And even like the writing. How do you think they're going to do that? It's just going to be the voiceover as he's writing.
Yeah.
I think they could always do a modern spin on it.
My vow.
And especially because, listening to the ebook.
Yeah. Not to mention if he gets out his glove and his Noxema,
But
you're going to run into some trouble.
Maybe a voice recorder would help.
A dictaphone?
Be a practical way of getting some of this out. Is you actually hear him saying this.
Yeah.
Because that's how I felt when I was actually going to his writings and I'm listening to it. I feel like it's the tapes that he's been taking.
Do you think it's past the point where you can make it of its time? You think you have to make it like a more modern spin?
I was just thinking of effective ways of being able to utilize, some of the stuff that would be lost if you're making it of the time.
Right.
Because you can't have them. It's gonna take too much time to have him writing these long
diatribes.
Yeah. Where at least if he's like doing something and recording himself, you can get a little bit. You can multitask a little bit.
Yeah, maybe you could have some talking and show some montage or something that might speed things along.
Yeah, or you could get stylistic with it. Like imagine Dangerous Lives. I know you're a big fan of that because they're talking about that some of his pages are nothing more than doodles.
Yeah,
because he doesn't always have stuff to write about. So I guess this was a little bit of inspired by what was going on earlier, but it's nothing that he's like proud enough.
Kieran
like later on when
could play a good Ignatius though.
Oh yeah,
not tall enough, I don't think.
Not big enough at all. Play a good George maybe. Looks like a junkie.
Yeah.
Looks like a junkie with a broomstick in his ass. Whoa. Yeah, no, maybe who do you see directing this? Could Wes Anderson really sink his teeth into something like this?
Symmetry
seems like something he would
this
like.
well.
Seemed like he would. I could just see like how I'm visualizing this room, for example. Like Wes Anderson would eat that up. He loves his sets.
He wasn't the first director to cross my mind, but then again, nobody was.
Yeah.
But it's weird. You were asking me about...
Should we drop a budget for this? Is that what we should be doing right now? To really get crazy? Let's get nuts. Let's get Dr. Nuts.
Dr. Nuts. You were asking me about who would play Burma Jones there. And I almost do have a visual in my head, but I don't have like an exact actor to put it on. Which is, it's like unusual to have that in a story where it is developed enough in your brain where you can see a character.
No actor looks like the guy I'm picturing.
Yeah, it's like some kind of shadow creature in a way, you know what I mean? Like it's just like a fleck.
Yeah.
But you can see it, it's vivid, but it's vague.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I'm almost picturing like, the Little Rascals? The guy with the bowler's cap, the kid with the bowler's cap. I picture him grown up.
Yeah.
And like still no hair. Right?
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And whoa.
And I'm not sure if he's getting the job. They must be having him getting the job there before.
That's the end of disc 1.
Is it?
It cuts from his room, Ignatius's room, to someone walking in the bar and saying,
"Wow,
I need a job." No, and that you don't know who it is. So it was also a very gripping end to the first disc.
Right.
Because you think like maybe it's Mancuso in one of these crazy costumes undercover, right? Because you already saw that he has a vendetta against Ignatius.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and they were kind of hiding out.
Yeah.
During that
scene. He's got costumes.
Yeah, yeah.
So
does it pick up right with him getting the job then in disc 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's the rest of the conversation.
Yeah, and he's the best character pretty well in the book.
Yeah.
You want him to be our guy.
Yeah. I wish he was our guy.
But he's getting a raw deal. He can get the job, but it's a shit wage.
Yeah, exactly.
No respect.
But the only reason he has to get the job is so he doesn't look like a vagrant because he'd get arrested. So his hands are kind of tied.
And he's negotiating a little bit. And he's not going to do certain things.
And he even talks about that he used to be on a plantation, so he's already lived quite a life, and he's just like, I just want to lay low. Yeah. Mopping might not be that bad.
Yeah. And all over a couple of cashews.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. So he gets the job. Maybe, I'm trying to think if this is when the packages are done.
Yeah. With Lana Lee.
Yeah.
Gives him the job. Yeah. The owner, the proprietor
but the
of
way
the Night of Joy.
Yeah. And the way she's talking about it, she's like, oh yeah, don't worry, don't clean up too much. Mm-hmm. It's like only where the light shows. No, you don't got to worry about under those tables there.
Yeah. He's going to work with his glasses on too.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, never takes the glasses off, this guy.
Yeah. Shit.
Wonder how many eyes he has under there. And this is where... Did Darlene have her bird?
Not yet. No. They talk about a pet, but she's not really in all that yet.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Are we discussing the cut version or the uncut version? Are we just going to skip over Ignatius's erection?
That's why I said, like, when you were talking about all the detail of the room, I said until he pulls out the rubber glove and then knocks Ema.
Yeah. And this is an ongoing theme with this guy.
Yeah, this guy's like...
Blood pumping.
Yeah. He's like repulsed by the act. He's like over it too.
I know.
He's like
embarrassed about it.
Yeah.
Oh, not again. Oh, Fortuna.
He reminds me of that.
She's trying to make me. He's the master of the domain. This guy.
Well, I don't know. I think he's.
He's got the sheet wrapped around him. He loves wrapping around a sheet. He does that a couple times.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that
it's almost like that's maybe what gets him.
He seems pent up enough where he's winning the contest. Yeah. But to me, it seems like
he's out.
He's out. Yeah.
I can see that. Did you ever see the Experiment?
Have I?
Lawrence Fishburne. You know what it's about, though? It's like 30 people, 15 are inmates, 15 are inmates, 15 are officers or guards.
Oh, it was like a Stanford prison experiment kind of thing.
At Lawrence Fishburne.
That didn't go awry.
He's like an Ignatius where he's living with his mom and stuff.
This is a movie.
It's a film, yeah, but Lawrence Fishburne.
It's like this is a reality TV show.
Oh my God, Lawrence, what happened, buddy?
It's like Fear Factor. But...
Apocalypse again? But he has he's never had so much power in his life that I think he beats someone and then he excuses himself and goes to the washroom and he looks in the mirror and looks down and he's got
no.
Because he's just going off the power, and that's what I was thinking, like it's kind of what Ignatius is like at certain points.
Oh yeah,
he can't help himself.
You feel like it's just half a chicken nugget that he's dealing with too somehow.
Yeah, no one even notices it but him, right?
Yeah, couldn't push down the space key. This thing.
Yeah, nothing but a shift. So she's like giving him the rules. It's like, you focus out here. Don't fuck with any of my stuff back here.
Right. Stay in your own lane.
Yeah, but it's subtle enough that you don't think too much about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's doesn't eventually start doing an investigation in this thing, but this is just the seeds.
Yeah, exactly. The seeds are being planted. So Jones gets the job. Yeah, you feel bad for him because you know he's getting taken advantage of. He's in a situation where he has to take the job. Mm-hmm. But also you find out that the Night of Joy is going to be a reoccurring location.
Yeah.
Right? Because in the
You've
first
already
scene,
been back.
You don't know if they're ever going to be back there, but now you get to meet the owner. This is the first time we met Lana Lee. And I should know that better than you. I listened to it. You read it. Actually had the inflection and the name. But so eventually we're gonna hear some stripping.
Eventually.
Yeah. And then after he gets the job, I don't think it's a very long scene, is it? Does anything else happen in the scene before it cuts back?
No, I think there's enough going on.
Or does the mother show back up?
No.
She talks about... yeah, she's letting him in on the secrets. Like, all the drinks are watered down.
Oh, yeah. And how they could pay more or whatever because the drinks don't cost anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And she's going off to go car shopping. Going to purchase a whip. You might say. Don't worry about the cleaning too much. Talking about the pinball machine.
Yeah, this is her investment.
Flicking and blinking. So there's that visual cues going in there still.
Can't get enough of the bar.
I don't know what this is. Love for bikes is platonically intense. My love for bikes is platonically intense. Sounds like an Ignatius line.
I thought for sure I'd be able to make something of it, but
yeah.
Nay.
So, in the scene where Ignatius is in his room already, the mother's yelling into him and says that Mancuso's coming over.
Ay. The policeman cometh.
And at this point, do they know that it's the same officer as in the beginning?
It's hard to say because he goes there,
especially
and
in
there's a bit of surprise,
especially with that fake beard and Hawaiian shirt. Really can't recognize him.
Oh, maybe, yeah. So maybe she doesn't recognize him as being that same police officer. But you'd think he would recognize.
Says he wore his own fake beard, they say. Wasn't even part of the costume. He just threw it in there.
Oh, he's improvising.
Yeah, no, what a guy.
Yeah, but basically,
he's a keener.
When he's not watching over urinal stalls, he's out here investigating this car crash as well. And, the problem is that this isn't the kind of problem that's going to go away straight away. There's going to be financial repercussions.
Oh, yeah.
That cannot be avoided here. Yeah. But they're willing to take the hit because on the flip side, she's getting off on the drunk driving thing and mainly just old oil slick himself.
They just got to pay for the damage.
$1,000.
Yeah.
Like $1,000 and $20 or something.
Yeah, it is. $1,020. But they even take the time to paint the picture of the neighborhood.
On Constantinople Street.
Yeah, that she's lived in. It made it sound like Miss Riley's been around there her whole life. Mm-hmm. And how they...
it's definitely the only place it sounds like Ignatius has lived.
Yeah. They're like, you could bridge the homes with a yardstick. There's like really interesting dialogue. Like
that's why their neighbor is so mad all the time.
Yeah,
because they're right there
in the business.
Yeah,
and this is where you meet Miss Annie.
Yeah, yelling
when he rolls up, and this is where he also sees the car is drove into the deck, and there's bean boxes covering all the windows.
Or Fortuna.
And the car is all scratched up.
But basically, they got to pay $1,000. They get like $115, something like that. $150 in the Hibernia Bank. Have you seen this word before kicking around, Hibernia?
Never.
Just in general?
No.
And know what's interesting? Like, I feel like I've seen it on companies or part of a subdivision or something like that. But it's Latin for Ireland.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Ireland Bank.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's where she has got $150 cooped up.
Yeah.
And
Surely not enough.
no, she's just on like a pension kind of thing. She gets a little bit off of her dead husband. Been dead for 21 years, Ignatius's dad. So I guess since he was pretty young, he's meant to be around 30.
It talks about that a crowd starts forming, a curious crowd starts forming when Mancuso shows up. So, like, what's making them form? Is it the car? Or is he in a patrol car? And it's like, oh, everyone sees the cops there?
I don't know.
But then he gets out in
everything on foot.
But he gets out in the costume? Like he's undercover.
I don't know. He's just the bearer of bad news. He's Hermes. He's the messenger.
He does take off his beard as he gets in.
But, so, you know, if you don't want to be sued, whatever, grand $20. And also, you want to go bowling?
He's trying to turn my mother into some kind of athlete. But they even like the
contrary to popular belief.
The description of the kitchen. They're just like they go into so much detail about everything around them, really painting the picture. That was a trip in your glasses watching the coffee. You both the lenses went white as you were drinking it. Ignatius is in there watching show tunes,
slurping every minute
slurping the jelly out of the donut. Imagine watching that, like
he's a
Christopher Reeves and a fetus.
He never eats any like regular food.
I know.
Only like baked goods or like hot dogs.
Yeah, that's the only thing that his valve will take.
Yeah, he's a fool.
You can tell that Mancuso, or you're led to believe Mancuso is a pretty nice guy. Seems to be, I don't know if he's
well-meaning.
Yeah, if he's got an agenda with Mrs. Riley here. But he seems to be willing to help her out a bit. Yeah, taking her side.
I mean, that's
kind of blaming Ignatius.
Yeah, I mean, think of the
She was drunk. He didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
So you can see that he's got a little bit of vendetta against the boy.
Yeah, no, she's like
man boy.
She's got to like he's like I dust. Basically, all Ignatius does is dust. That's his contribution to the household.
Yeah. And Mancuso sees him in his nightshirt.
Aye.
His moo-moo. What do you think that nightshirt says?
Sam Moon.
Is it Che? He's got a big Che fucking nightshirt. And it's funny, he only listens to musicals or watches musicals.
Well, he watches other stuff. He actually watches real movies.
Yeah.
In the thing.
Yeah,
some Doors Day ones like or some shit.
It gets like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Name dropping. This is filth!
Channel.
I can't wait to watch this one.
Oh, the other side of darkness, my valve.
Yeah.
You can pull that plug.
And Mancuso's like, you shouldn't spoil your kids. Trust me, I got 3.
Yeah.
Really trying to level with her. Seems like Miss Riley's kind of wooed by it all.
Never really hear about his kids again.
Never. Yeah. Doesn't even have them. It's part of the undercover story.
Yeah. And is Santa his wife or something?
Aunt.
Yeah. His aunt?
Yeah.
That's right.
Mancuso's aunt.
Relative.
Yeah.
And she's good buddies. Is she buddies with her already, or does she meet her because she goes bowling too and they just become fast friends?
I think it's through... Because who's the other girl that they hang out with? Santa they meet... No. There's another girl that Miss Riley hangs out with. And then Santa's there too.
Oh, really?
I think so. She meets her through her friend. And then it just so happens to be the aunt of Mancuso.
Oh, it just so happens. And also been asking around town has been Claude, right? The old man.
Well, you find that out that... and they do that Luella? Is there a Luella?
Does she have a good sense of humor?
I'm pretty sure she does have a friend that introduces her to Santa.
I thought it was from bowling. We're going bowling, so don't loosen your coat.
Yeah, that's probably how it was.
Yeah.
Mancuso asked her to go bowling, and then... there's another fucking... Anyways. Santa's all of a sudden just, like, dancing on tables and shaking her tits and stuff like that.
Oh, bountiful woman.
And when that's happening, it's not just Santa and Miss Riley, and Mancuso's not there, so there is a third female in there somewhere.
Aye. Who?
But yeah, they where we at? Yeah, boiling and bowling. It's boiling milk, and they're asking about bowling. And he asked her to go bowling that night. I was like, no, I have to take Ignatius to a movie. He really wants to see this one.
Yeah.
And she's threatening to sell the house to him, to Ignatius.
Oh, well, yeah, she's
just...
going to remortgage the shit, which is going to put it up in jeopardy. Because she ain't making the money to make these remortgage payments.
But she's making threats, being like, maybe I should just sell it and leave you out on your own.
Yeah, that too.
So Ignatius is getting blamed for this whole crash as well.
Well, he's just not helping the situation.
Yeah.
But once she...
Yeah, maybe he could get in the car for once and drive his mom to AA.
Yeah, for frig's sakes.
But yeah, it's time for... I get it. He's been lazing around ever since he got out of college. This is his time where he's got to stand up and be the man of the house.
You would think.
Get the wake.
Yeah. But basically, she needs to get Santa up her ass, trying to make her life better, and like these other people kind of give her the courage, it feels like, to confront her son and say, like, listen, pal, you got to go get this job. We're not taking no for an answer here.
Yeah.
And he's like, God damn, my valve. What are you thinking, woman? I haven't worked. I had a job for 2 weeks. Stamping library cards.
Yeah. And he starts comparing Mancuso to his father. Which I don't think he would have ever met his father, would he have?
Oh, yeah. 21 years, and he's like 30.
Was it 21? Okay. Oh. I guess he just never went to the theater. Because there's that part, the confusing part for me was when they said the last movie Mr. Riley saw in theaters was the one that Ignatius was conceived after.
Oh, yeah. Must not have saw one with him.
Yeah. Oh, I think it was because he was so disgusted by the whole thing, he never went back to the theater. Traumatized by the consummation.
Yeah. And
so he goes into the room, a little bit of inspiration of this, writes a goddamn masterpiece. And then he's talking about how thinks his wife, that's mom wife. He thinks it's
not inaccurate.
Yeah, or his mom. So yeah, the mom's like bursting into his room and seeing his room for the first time and bitching him out for how dirty he is and calling him out, saying that he's got to be the one
issue this ultimatum
to go get a job. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he's like, he was calling Mancuso a mongoloid. He's like, did that mongoloid tell you to tell me to get a job?
Did he put you up to this?
And he starts talking about like how much better of a man his dad is than Mancuso.
That's right.
And you know, she's getting really heated about the whole situation, so he does. He's calling her out for the drinking. And at one point it says that he looks at his pillow and he's like, am I do I believe what I'm hearing? To his pillow. He just can't believe what his mother's saying to him right in his face. And then he ends up doubling down and being like, okay, Mom, take me to the show tonight. I'll find a job tomorrow, I promise.
Yeah. So, first attempt at a job.
You can tell, because it does have, no, the...
He's going through the want ads or something.
But he goes to the movie first.
Yeah. Oh, is that when he...
Yeah. So he goes to the show.
His first appalling show of the book.
And it cuts to Jones on the bus. And he's just like...
Headed to work.
He's going to town. And I guess this is just his thought process of how this one elderly lady looked at him.
Just...
And, like, he's saying all this stuff, saying that she thinks that he wants to scratch her and... Y'all throw your grandma ass out the window. Whoa! Like, it's just like there's not really any point to this other than maybe like you
showing like his what he faces every day out there.
But the only part really to take from this scene is that he sees the green-capped freak out the window. So you can see that Ignatius is kind of like taking over these people's work. Yeah, the obsession is growing with all these people and this green-capped freak that they keep running into.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But when he sees him, he's actually... No, but then he sees the guy with the red beard. So I think it's like Mancuso's following him now. Because he mentions that he sees him out the window, too. Mm. And then it's pretty funny when Ignatius actually gets to the theater.
It's funny that you mention that kind of thing because it doesn't really transpire in a way where he seems like he's been trailed.
Yeah, exactly. But there's something about that, why else would they put it in the book that he also sees Mancuso there with his red beard? Yeah. His own red beard.
Yeah, everybody's seen him. Everybody's seen everyone, that's for sure.
Yeah. But he's pretty funny when he's in the theater. Like, he can't wait to see this show. And then as soon as it comes on, he just starts screaming obscenities.
Yeah, he's the worst. Yeah.
Yeah, Jones also settles down by reading the TV guide. And he really likes an ad that they have in there. Got kind of a jingle while he's reading it to himself.
Nice.
Yeah. Ignatius, he snaps his ears of his hat up when he gets into the theater.
Oh, so
when he gets in a seat and he snaps them up. You can picture this guy right now.
Yeah.
I'm picturing Paul Walter. It's a good visual.
RFK.
I think it's accurate. But... yeah, he just hates everything about this show. Just trying to say it. But then again, they don't ever have all the great description in the first chapter and then it dies off. Like, they have a lot of great, his eyes flickering with the reflection of the Technicolor as he watches this show. Oh, seems like it's going to be the best thing that he ever seen. He's hates everything about it.
Yeah.
Someone scratch her.
Yeah.
He yells.
Yeah. It's unreal. Yeah. It's not the most endearing qualities of him.
What degenerate came up with this abortion?
I saw a list of the words that are used the most in this thing. Yeah. And there's valve,
sex.
Abortion was in his top 10.
Really? That's hilarious.
It was not used very many times, but it was in the list. Oh, Fortuna.
Fortuna. Valve definitely up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else they say? God. He's always good God. I think he's saying it a lot during this, actually. And then he ends up inciting this shrieking contest between kids.
Nice.
I'm this guy's a punk, man. Anarchy everywhere he goes.
It's true.
This is the...
It brings the storm.
This is the Aleister Crowley of the punk Bible.
God damn, that's a Weird comparison.
Yeah. Swear to God.
Raise the devil.
Yeah. The manager's storming in and already knows who is there.
Of course,
He's
yeah.
been there, and this is a thing. This
Every
isn't the
time.
first show he's been doing this to.
God dang, I'm surprised he's still allowed to go.
It won't
to
be
that
the last,
theater.
will it?
No, it seems like, other than being a good paying fella.
But yeah, so he's trying to find a job. Has a job interview like pretty much right away.
Yeah, he's
Seems like
intrigued
it's
by
going
the
good.
ad.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
What was
like-
it doing again?
It was just like, it made it sound like somewhat relaxed Levi pants, but it was basically said relaxed fit.
No, but this wasn't a Levy one right away.
The first one he did?
No, there was a quick like in and out. There was one that was like he was into it and he was talking, and then I think they might have said the pay, and he's like, all right, see you later, and just left. And then he's talking, and then he's like reading the bottom of the barrel ads, being like, just has a reason to hate every single job. And he's like talking about a mail route. And he's like, Mom, will you drive me around? She's like, how am I supposed to drive you around?
Oh, yeah.
Can't drive you around. And he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm too big for a bike.
Oh, maybe that's your bike thing.
Oh, I love bikes. What was it? Platonic. My love for bikes is platonically intense. So like no seat or something. Platonic. Forgot. Seats on.
Yeah, it's censored.
Then patrolman got a good idea. Scraping the bottom of the market. Calls on the home phone. Oh yeah, gets a call from Mancuso, and he goes, "Will you stop molesting us, you mongoloid?"
My mom isn't going out. She doesn't roll on shaft.
Yeah, I know. He's trying to turn my mother into some kind of athlete.
On the Sabbath. Don't roll on the Sabbath.
And then it goes back to Mancuso with the sergeant. He's like, I got a lead on the place that might have some girls of the night, if you catch my drift.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, who gave you the lead? And he can't say. And he's like, God, get back out there, Mancuso.
Yeah, didn't want to say it was the son of the woman he was investigating. That's correct.
And he put the soldier uniform on today.
Good one.
And Sergeant's kind of like conspiring against him with the other detectives too.
Yeah,
like, it's not just the sergeant
They're like
giving him
laughing
shit,
behind his back pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, he's never going to arrest anyone. We're going to have to fire him.
And complaints about man in a sombrero. Remember sombrero in there? Urban sombrero?
No, I don't.
Yeah. So now we get to Mr. Gonzalez at Levy Pants. Shows up early every morning.
Yeah, he's a meek guy in the story,
Yeah.
to tell you the truth. But yeah, he basically is in a hurry to give this dude a job. He wants him to start today.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny that he's like, there was 2 listings, one for a man and one for a woman. And it's kind of like, well, which one am I getting? And he's like, well, why would I get the job for a woman?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, they're the same job. And there's like Miss Trixie.
Yeah, Miss Trixie's
Who
there.
do you see Miss Trixie's being played as?
Susan Sarandon.
Well, that's Miss Trixie? I was thinking Ruth Cohen.
Who's Ruth Cohen?
Ruth Cohen. You know the cashier
Oh,
that stole my $10? The one that I drew lips on?
yeah, I got you.
Can you picture?
She's
The one that told you your car was on fire?
I don't know about this day and age, pal.
Yeah. What are you trying to say? She's gone.
Might be.
Okay, who else do we got? It's still with us.
Well,
Come on, I gotta look it up now.
She's grandma age.
So's Miss Trixie. She's
a good-looking lady.
No, she's got like dementia and stuff. She's never completely vertical. Is that what you like about her? She's been failing naturally for half a century.
She's got a weird job. You can't tell really what she does there.
Nothing. She's kept there because of Mrs. Levy.
Yeah.
And it's just let her sit there. And they describe her desk. She's always like stealing shit too.
Yeah, oh yeah.
She's got lighters even though she doesn't smoke.
Bickin'.
And they talk about the cardboard under her one of the legs of her chair.
Nice.
She's always wearing the visor.
Mm-hmm, the green visor.
Yeah. But then they mention his hat as a visor. Talk about the visor of his hat.
No, she wears his hat sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get to that.
Yeah. Gloria?
But yeah, the whole Mr. Gonzalez smoked one of his 10 cigarettes. he smoked one of his 10 cigarettes that he has a day.
Yeah. Nice.
And he got the job just like that.
Mm-hmm. Just like that. You did the opposite.
Oh, he didn't even get the job yet. You get to meet Miss Trixie in my notes. He smoked the one of 10 cigarettes. The hat comes through the door. His hair and mustache styled by Vaseline.
Ew. That's a gross detail.
Yeah. Yellow tie vertically separating his wide shirt. 2 job listings. 1 man, 1 woman. Yeah, it's like Gonzalez is just throwing this job at him. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, he's going to take the job? No. I think I got something else on the line. But maybe he's really playing hardball. You don't know if he's going to take this job or if it's going to be like the last one. Yeah. Or the next one.
And what is it, like $16, $25 a week, something like that? And he's like, no, not good enough. Someone's going to offer me something real good. And they're like, we'll throw in $25 a day.
$60 a week he gets up to.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
16.
Sounded like 60.
Maybe it's 60. I don't know. It's not very much.
Yeah.
I think
after
60 sounds high for him.
A bit of hard.
He's making like $1 a day later.
Yeah. But he works in the free taxi fare.
Yeah.
Worked into the deal.
It's like 25 cents a day for taxi.
But he makes a big deal of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In his book when he writes it. Because I think... I don't know. I guess the job goes back to Jones. So it's like this. Sweeping and mopping? What's all this errand shit? Like, that's not my job. He's starting to get really fed up early.
Lana's asking him to do a little bit extra here and there.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like the pay's not going up, so why are you adding more details to my job?
That wasn't part of the deal.
Yeah. And this is when I was like, I love Jones. Jones is he's my guy.
He is, yeah.
And you get to meet George for the first time.
Yeah. Kind of in the streets.
Yeah. He throws some.
The streets.
He's got a foul mouth, and Jones doesn't like it. And he starts going, "What? You look like a junkie. Kind of look like a junkie with a broomstick in your ass. Whoa!" Starts sticking up for himself. Yeah, it's like, fuck, I love this guy.
Yeah.
You better tell I forget what he calls him, but he's like, you better tell that sissy ass kid to keep walking. Mind my business. Wow.
Doesn't even want any guff off them fucking swine.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta ask you.
Yeah.
Who is Gloria?
Gloria is.
Was there a Gloria that got fired, or is this something that Ignatius? It seems like Ignatius is making it up because now he's just writing away, right? Finally inspired. And he's talking about how, like, oh yeah, I really worked them into that taxi deal. Now I'm up to $60 a week. And making it seem like he really owned that interview and got as much as they could.
Yeah.
But
Well, Gloria is
Talking about the
Latin
Gloria.
for glory, isn't it? So that's what he's after. Glory.
but there's a whole story where he helped Gloria get fired because he hated the tapping. Like, I questioned it so much, like how I was talking about bringing the actual PDF up.
Right.
I was like, I have to answer this question, so I put Gloria in the search.
Right.
And the first time Gloria comes up is when he's writing his first installment of what does he call it?
The indictment.
Up from Sloth is his second title. Anyways, we'll get there. But the first time that he says Gloria is when he's writing, and he's talking about how this chick he couldn't stand the sound of her heels. She's not a sidler.
Right.
Her heels, the clicking of her heels. So he talked Gonzalez into firing her, and because of him being a hand in saving them from having to pay this person, that's why he's getting extra money for the taxi.
Oh, right.
So it's like this big elaborate story of why they're paying for his fare there and back. But then, so it seems like something that maybe he's just making up, because there's definitely stuff where he takes a couple liberties with how stuff actually plays out.
Right.
But then, doesn't he get called Gloria by Miss Trixie for the rest of the thing?
Yeah. That is a weird.
Because Gonzalez even is like, there was never a Gloria word.
Yeah, and later on, when they're talking about who got fired, like, they have no idea who this Gloria is.
Yeah.
She's
Fortuna.
Susie.
Yeah, Susie. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. No funeral for her or anything?
Someone's gonna get their thumbs slammed in their trunk in this whole scenario, guy.
You know, I slept with Susie, right?
Gloria?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's also writing this thing like, oh yeah, like my mom asked her if there's any hot chicks that work there. He's like, yeah, there's kind of one.
Yeah. And maybe that's the Gloria, like, and then he planted the seed in Miss Trixie that he said, I'm Gloria, or something. Like, there's something that wasn't quite answered or I missed a piece of. But the mom shits on the $60 a week immediately.
Oh, yeah.
We're never going to be able to pay off our debt that way.
It's going to take forever. Just started these tuba payments.
Yeah. And then he gets his first message from Myrna, where she's like extremely worried about him. And she's like, yeah, you're paranoid. Did he already send her a message?
Yeah, I think probably something at this point. There's a bit of back and forth throughout the weeks here.
Yeah.
Telegram.
But she's really being like, you gotta have some sex. Or anything.
Yeah.
Even run into a Mia Goth somewhere.
Freudian.
Yeah. But she's saying like paranoia is a byproduct of homosexual tendencies or something like that. Yeah. Paranoia will lead to homosexual tendencies.
Yeah.
And like that seems so radical, but later on it actually makes sense where she's like, oh my god, it's true.
Oh yeah.
So what's that about? He's making up this Gloria thing? Seems you're on the fence now?
Now I'm confused.
Did you second guess it at all?
Yeah, I guess I don't know where it really came from, but it's interesting that you picked up on this story thing. Like, I know that, you know, he's got a general disdain and is a disruptive force already at work. And I remember this thing about him saving them some money, but I didn't think about it being in his writing. But there is this whole thing later on where they actually go through some of the stuff he wrote around this period. And it's maybe just part of this narrative that he's creating about how he's so benevolent towards this company. Some kind of shit like that.
Because then it goes into like him at work, and he shows up late. He like makes a point of showing up an hour late on the dot every day.
Yeah. And even Gonzalez is still having trouble. Yeah. Gomez.
Yeah, Gomez Gonzalez. He has tons of work, but he hasn't touched it, and he's blaming it on like, it's in the lower drawer. I can't get to it. Just
Ignatius Gloria.
He's starting to get called out about not working.
Where did she get Gomez in her head? This might just be her fault.
Yeah, you don't think his name is Gomez?
No, it's Gonzalez.
Yeah. I just assumed it was double G, this guy.
Yeah. No. But, fuck.
But then he falls over and hurts his back. And he's making a big scene. Ah! And Mr. Gonzalez is like...
What's he doing? Standing on a chair or something when it happens?
He's always standing up on shit. I don't think he's standing up on anything here. Oh, yeah, he's trying to put up something. Yeah. His decorations, he starts moving in.
Yeah, he's putting up a cross and shit in there.
He falls, and he's like, I think I broke my back. Yeah. Mr. Gonzalez goes to pick him up.
Yeah, and your health care here sucks.
Yeah. You don't move someone with a broken back. I will not be paralyzed by your incompetence. I will not live the rest of my life in a wheelchair.
Yeah. He's like obsessed with people who are being exploited. Yeah. Like he's out to help Miss Trixie. He's out to like unionize this company pretty much. Mm. Get everybody a working wage.
And this is all Mr. Levy's like entering the building. I'm pretty sure.
No, he does show up for one of his rare occasion.
Yeah. And Ignatius is like, I think my hand is unusable for the rest of the day. He's like, no work for me.
He's like fucking Newman.
But then Mrs. Trixie comes out and falls into him, and he gets the visor to the throat. Tell me you wouldn't like to see that on film.
Would like to see that, the sharp point of the visor.
Yeah.
Not rounded off, something maybe Kung Lao would wear.
Yeah, exactly. And that's when he's like, Mr. Levy, I'd like to meet him. And he meets him for a second. And then he goes right into writing the letter. Mr. Levy goes in for a meeting with Gonzalez. And then first order of business from Ignatius, some real work that he does. Because he hears them talking about that company.
Yeah. So
then this company that Mr. Levy's father worked with for a long time.
Yeah, what are they called? It doesn't really matter. It's called
But he starts calling
Eden or something.
Eden, yeah. But he starts writing the letter. He's calling them a mongoloid and I think we're gonna have to.
Oh yeah.
And drops the bomb.
Latin for slow.
Yeah. And he's saying that department stores everywhere sell Levy pants because of the tag, no matter how shitty they are. And no matter how abominable their design and construction, you molest us again and you will feel the lash upon your pitiful shoulders. Signed, Mr. Riley. And he kills the signature to the point that when Mr. Riley sees it later, he's like, I did write this. Yeah. A world that only understood strength and force. Punk.
Boethius.
So this is when you find out about the last movie Mr. Riley saw. It was the one he watched before Ignatius was conceived. And then they talk about Mancuso getting arrested, and I'm like, what? What happened? Oh, and you hear that he wrote Myrna, but you don't know what he wrote? Or something. I was like, the only option is that, did he call in a favor for Myrna? Like, I was just so thrown off by how Mancuso got arrested. I'm like, what did I miss? Did he call a friend?
He's always getting arrested.
Yeah. But
you find out later why he's always getting arrested.
Yeah. But Mrs. Riley hears about this while they're bowling. And also you find out that someone's like in the shadows watching her from afar. So there's a couple things along the way that keep you invested, keep you guessing. Because it's not just the same stories going. There's all these pinpoints of new stories and more story arcs along the way. Because this is still only like chapter 3 or something like that. Chapter 4 maybe.
Yeah, something like that. As it moves in, like basically sits on this job for a couple pages.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's actually like it feels a huge part of it, especially because. Like, all the people he touches, you sort of, like, have a new strand to follow now.
Yeah, precisely, because it comes up to, now you're following Mr. Levy at home. You find out about his relationship with his wife. Find out about his daughters in college, hoeing it up. Coming home. She tried to take her cigarettes out of her purse, but dropped her condoms. Yeah, rubbers, they called it, or something. Yeah. And then they're like, God knows what they're doing in college. Yeah. I hope some poor man marries them, and then they'll all be good. Yeah. Just wants to get rid of them.
Yeah, just the worst wife, too. Yeah. Just, like, always threatening him. Yeah. I'm going to tell your daughters you suck real bad.
Yeah, exactly.
You're disgracing your dad's name. Because he hates this company.
He wants it to burn.
Yeah.
He could care less.
No.
And, like, Mrs. Trixie is only employed because of Miss Levy.
They won't retire.
Like, don't let her retire. She'll die.
She won't like it.
Yeah, she'll die.
Yeah. We're saving her life by not retiring her.
So you find out how all about his home life. And then this is where we get the working title. So now he's raring to go. He's fully inspired. He knows this is where I'm going to start making my masterpiece. And it's called The Journal of the Working Boy, or Up From Sloth. And he starts talking about how this is going to be a film one day.
Yeah,
and I loved this
delusions of grandeur.
But I loved the how meta it was about this movie that we're talking about is unfilmable. Yeah. And now he's writing this thing that he wants to be a film, and it's just thoughts. For the most part, it's like, how are you? This is unfilmable.
Yeah. How do you?
He talks about like adding flashbacks and stuff.
That's what makes this unfilmable. Is like when you get to the part where you try and make his film.
Yeah. You just don't know what film you're watching anymore. It's like a multiverse.
Yeah, fucking zucks you right into the abyss.
And like you find out while he's writing that he takes the job seriously.
Seems to, yeah.
Kinda. Even though he's not doing anything, but he's really fucking pumped up on it. And he signs it.
Doesn't sound like that bad of a job.
Yeah, exactly.
It sounds pretty lax.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people, cracking the whip yet.
But he automatically just goes to what sucks about the company itself and how he's just going to completely rock the boat and make stuff better. But it seems like he's only doing it to get back at Myrna.
Yeah, it's going to start a revolution here.
And just conspiring against Gonzalez for no reason. He's like,
just hates him.
He has to go because he's the only one keeping him from being, the guy.
Yeah.
He wants to be Levy's guy, and then he has to take out Levy. So he's writing, and he signs it Daryl, the working boy.
Pardon all the 5Gs flying around this room. Worse than mosquitoes.
So she's out bowling. Gets back And so she gets
Her elbow grease moving around.
talking about the Daryl, the working boy.
Oh yeah, signed Daryl the working boy.
And yeah, so after bowling, they're hanging out. Santa's dancing around, and Mancuso's there. So he would have been bowling with them.
Oh yeah.
To answer that question, but it goes to
Gloria also apparently existed with so many revelations
I don't know if she did. There's still debate.
That's dang it.
Yeah.
Thought this movie.
Don't do that just yet, guys.
This movie was so enclosed.
Yeah. So like,
how do you broach Gloria?
I'm just trying to see if this is like in his word, another writing, or if this is I think it's still going on with his writings, as he's talking about how Levy's really turning around, and he's doing like 4 jobs in one.
Many hats.
Is that from Gonzalez, or is that from him? Because he's talking about that he actually like changes Miss Trixie's socks.
Yeah, that's a kindness that he's done.
But is he actually doing this, or is he just writing it? Like, I'm confused. And is he doing this all out of an act of revenge?
Ulterior
get that
motives
blasted Myrna.
Sure. I don't know. Maybe because he's helping the lesser folk in that moment. A little Robin Hood action.
He's talking about... this is when he's really saying that this is a screenplay. He's going to make a movie of this. He's going to work in some flashbacks.
Well, boy, was he wrong.
When he's talking about... if a mid-class white ever sat beside me on a bus, I'd kick his ass. And he's actually like...
With my astounding stature.
Yeah. He's relating to Jones.
He is, yeah.
They're both in each other's thoughts.
It's the shinning.
Yeah. Ski-bop! Talks about how...
That's a Skibbity Ohio Riz.
Myrna's actually always tried to make advances on Ignatius, but he never let her.
No
Been
good.
holding out.
Yeah.
Jones is... so where are you at in this?
Wherever you want to be, pal.
Okay, so Jones gets off the job and heads into this inn. And this is his watering hole. When he's off work, he goes here to have a drink.
Yeah.
And he's around this guy that works at Levy Pants. And they're talking about this guy that's been working there.
Starting a rebellion.
Like, you don't say.
Yeah, what's
Green
this guy
hat?
look like?
Yeah, green hat?
Yeah.
He knew right away.
Yeah, you know about the bus?
Yeah, but this guy's talking about sabotage. And this is what gets in Jones' ear. And he's like, you know what? I might do something to the...
yeah, I'm feeling sabotagey too.
Yeah. Might get Lana Lee, after all. But they're talking about, like, child's play. Like, it's like too much pepper in the soup or crack a couple eggs. Like, nah, that's not going to work.
Visine in the meatball sub.
And he's even thinking to himself that he needs this green-capped fella to help him out.
Yeah.
That's his scofflaw. The white whale.
Yeah. Oh, we look around for him.
Bitching about a girl jobbing with a bird as big as an eagle. Whoa! and you get some more of Jones's backstory that he only went to school for 2 years and then spent most of his days rolling a wheel around the streets as his mom washed clothes.
Nice.
Yeah. So just no education.
No. But he's smart. He's street smart. Yeah. And eloquent. Miss Rooney.
Coffee. So yeah, they're talking about the pepper in the soup. Sitting beside a factory worker. So you find out that he's conspiring everyone against Gonzalez. He's ready to move in. He's got an army.
That's Sigma.
Yeah. And Gonzalez shows up at work early and Ignatius is there.
Right.
He's like, what are you doing here? You always show up late.
Yeah,
and
I'm the early guy around here.
Yeah, he starts giving him so much guff right away. Now, I like this, that Gonzalez shows up early, lighting a smoke off the heater with the same match to signify a new day.
Yes.
He's so it's like everything's so calming here for a second.
Yeah.
And Ignatius walks in with his banner and his camera.
Yeah. Oh, his newly acquired camera. Yeah. And his mom brings that up too. He picked up a couple of new things since he worked at this place. She's barely getting any of this cash that he's bringing in.
Yeah. He's like, why are you here? Like, he's very casual, like, oh, Ignatius, why are you here so early? I'm here this time, every time. Your eyes are flickering with paranoia. Starts calling them out.
That's patently untrue.
Goes right back to the factory. And
is this when he's going to do his...
Yeah, there's a big cheer.
There's the whole lead up to, like, I'm going to go check out the factory when I feel better.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's there now. He's feeling good.
And Gonzalez hears a big cheer. And he's like, oh, maybe someone's father. Or someone won a raffle.
Yes. It's a
he's just so
celebratory cheer.
He's so innocent, right?
Meanwhile, they're like, it's his head.
Yeah. And he's getting them to lift a table with him on top of it. And then he bangs the shoulder off. It's like, help me. And once again, he's got a sheet wrapped around to hide the boners. Hide the shift key.
Because he's erect.
Yeah. And he's got
in every sense of the word.
The two girls holding the banner. And I didn't think that he's ready to make this a movie himself, because he's filming it. And it's even like, I'm filming from the banner and up to show that we have aspirations.
Yeah, that's right. He's thinking about the... he's helping the directors out, really. Yeah. This is something easy to show. Can't make a movie about this.
Tries to jump off the table as they come in and just breaks the camera right away.
Another expense.
And someone's has a knife, because they all got weapons and stuff, don't they?
Oh, yeah, no. I think one of their things was like they needed to all bring a weapon.
It's like...
for the uprising. The coup.
Yeah, one of them like stabbed the banner, don't they? And he starts freaking out. And then his flower gets smashed. Everything's just turning to shit around him. People are starting to question
the
what's
whole
happening
thing
here.
is like evaporating.
Yeah.
Falling to pieces. In every sense of the word.
Fired.
Fire. You're fired.
Tells his mom. Mom starts harping on him. He says, no, mother. I must have a week in bed. Served. Served.
What a loaf.
Yeah, yeah. A week in bed with service.
He's like one of the people on 600 Pound Life.
Yeah.
Just getting catered to by his mama. The cake factory.
And then what happens next? Come on, where you at?
We're making advances all along the story with Jones.
Interject.
Yeah. I'm sure Levi's back talking to his wife, getting shit from her.
You start getting some more about Myrna. Myrna's, and I think, so what would you do? Would you show Myrna at all? Until, I don't know, we'll get to it.
In the movie, would she have appeared yet on the screen?
She's talking about her new artist, sculptor, boyfriend, fling.
Oh, yeah. And he's pretty outraged about that. He's got some choice words regarding that.
Yeah. She's already been talking about orgies and like parties that she went to, that she made reference to the casting coach actually at one point.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that old.
No.
But
legacy.
She's like, describe your sexual fantasy. Psychosis? Psychosexual? And she's telling him that she has just looked it up, and Louisiana has the highest literacy rates in America.
The highest or lowest?
At this point, the highest.
What?
So she's basically saying, like, I knew this city would kill you. You got to get out of here. It's going to eat you alive. She's even offering him a role in a play or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
You can play the landlord. Like, she's trying to get him to New York.
Yeah, no, she's incorrigible.
Okay. That's where young writers...
He doesn't deserve her.
Yeah. No. So this must be quickly into his next job?
Pretty much, like... He's not getting to sit around as much as he'd like.
Yeah.
He's got to get back on that horse. He's down in town. He starts shooting the shit with a guy.
Yeah.
I forget exactly how they happen upon it. But the hot dog stands were a big thing. And still are, I think, in New Orleans there. Called Lucky Dogs or something, but in this case he's happening across Paradise hot dogs.
They got them in New York too.
Does he go right into a place?
I'm trying to remember how.
Because he's like down by a spot, maybe like a pier or some shit like that. I do have notes, but the ones on here don't load. Trying to figure out exactly where we're at with it, but he gets there, gets a hot dog off the guy.
That's what I thought, but it's not the Clyde guy.
That's Mr. Clyde.
Okay, so he meets Mr. Clyde.
Yeah,
and how does he strike a deal with him?
He eats a hot dog, and then he asks him for the buck for the hot dog or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's gonna have to be on the house. And he's like, no, you're gonna work off this hot dog. You bring this thing around the block here, and then you're off the hook for this thing.
Such a quick transaction. Yeah. But what does he do? Takes it around the corner.
Yeah.
Eats all the hot dogs, comes back, and I'm like, I've been robbed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, but is that the first day? Yeah. He gets robbed the first day. That's right. He eats all the hot dogs as he's walking around. And it's like, oh, I'm eating one hot dog. Maybe pull out two more right quick and eat those. And, and he gets back and he claims he's been robbed. And this guy's like, what the fuck is up with this dude?
Yeah.
Like, no, none of my other guys are out there getting robbed.
No. Robbing for hot dogs.
Yeah, especially like when...
Well, he didn't get thrown down a set of subway stairs.
Yeah. What money didn't they get? They took all your money? No, they just took hot dogs.
Yeah.
He's like, you believe me? I'm supposed to believe you got rolled just for hot dogs here? These freaking kids?
But doesn't he fall down and hit his head or something? He's like, Mr. Clyde is secretly trying to kill me.
Perhaps. But basically after all that, he's like, well, you want to try again tomorrow? He's like, well, I guess.
Then he takes it with pride.
Yeah, and then he like demands like the nicest schmuck he's got so he can go home and prove to his mom that he's got a job. Yeah. And oh my god, later on when she's like Yeah, you'll never guess. He comes home in this schmuck. You know how many guesses it took me to figure out? She's like, butcher. Butcher.
Yeah, no, butcher. Is it a jackal? Is it a jackal?
Yeah, I guessed 18, 19 times.
Butcher.
And finally, we figure out that he's a weenie slinger.
She's not happy about that one. Oh man, it breaks her heart.
Abelman. That was the letter. Not Eden. Abelman.
Abelmans.
Cain and Abel, Eden.
Yeah, you're close.
Close.
So he gets the job.
Yeah.
The schmuck.
Yeah. In
Butcher.
life, as we were saying, these veins go out as well. So at the same time, after all of this, like with this stuff going back to Levi pants, I don't know if it's really the letter's out there, I guess, actually, but it doesn't come back till later on. Comes back in like chapter 9 or something.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, so it's like he's out here in the hot dog stand. It's somewhere like mid chapter 5 or something.
Yeah.
He spends a lot of time here. The Levi pants is almost fleeting compared to some of this stuff. So he's out there. Darlene is she's concocting her plan to have this her pet help her out with her stripping show.
Yeah. Are we advancing?
We're all over the place. See?
Okay, well, I'm almost out of my notes. So
Fire him away. Fielding.
when he's talking about he thinks that the Clyde guy's trying to kill him.
Yeah.
And then he's talking about his funeral.
Oh,
And
and
he's like, my mother would show up drunk and she'd grab me in the casket and say, don't take him! Don't take him away from me. She'd be golden.
yeah, he's so precious.
Yeah.
What did he say? Did you put anything about what the other people would be saying? Like, I can't remember.
Yeah, I have.
He says like it would be full or something.
I do have that later on when he's talking about a conversation he had with Mancuso. And he's like, he was looking at me terrified. And yeah, talking about some of these monologues. This is where he's walking around the streets and talking.
Yeah, when he's out there not flinging his dogs.
And I thought him maybe had a voice recorder just to actually get some of this beauty in there.
Yeah, so basically every day he goes out on this route, he goes to another dumb place.
What gets him so excited to hop on the hot dog stand?
Why?
Yeah.
Just because he gets to eat them? He finds they're delicious, even though that they're made with gross things.
But he tries to hop up on the hot dog stand at one point. Gets like so excited, and he hops on.
Oh, he falls off.
And then he has to get like strangers to help him off.
Yeah, he's pinned up against the building or something.
And now this is where he's retelling his. So this is when it's like, okay, this is almost all fiction now. You don't know what to believe. How he retells his meeting with Mancuso. His voice is even more. His voice is even more whiny when Ignatius does his voice. So his whole being is altered.
Yeah.
As he's making this whiny voice as he's talking about Mancuso. And he's like, he said terrifyingly as he answered in terror. Yeah. I said terrifyingly. Like he's making himself out to be this big beast. He probably wasn't even that tall, man. This guy's like El Monstro. Everyone expected him to be 8 foot. He's a little fucking Paul Walter.
Yeah, he does have delusions, so maybe.
And then
I thought it was the one thing he had going for him.
They just bring the teacher in, so we're up to the 7th round. This is disc 7.
Wow.
And they hit us with a new character. The teacher.
Oh, from...
Just thinking about back when Myrna and Ignatius were in the class.
Yeah. Hayden. Yeah. The worst teaching experience you could imagine getting in between these two.
He was like, I wonder if they got married and moved to Cuba. And then... So anyways, so now we're going to just start fast tracking. Do you have any more real notes, or we can just go through it?
No.
Because he keeps up with the hot dog stand job.
Yeah, he does.
And he ends up getting a... Does he get the pirate costume, or does he get into a little bit of trouble first?
No, what happens is... It's weird the stuff that doesn't happen in real time in the book.
Yeah.
Because... He goes to work one day, and the guy's like, health inspector came by, said you were playing with a dead cat down, and it was like another one of his places where he likes to go.
Yeah.
And so he was down there on 3rd or whatever, and he comes back to it later, or shortly in it. And says that he was trying to, like, befriend this cat and bring him home, which is super weird.
Yeah.
But so he's out there, and apparently, like Mr. Clyde said, the cat was dead. I'm pretty sure, but apparently it's alive. But he's like, no, it wasn't eating. But he pleads ignorance at first. Like, what are you talking about? I wasn't down playing with no cat. They're like, yeah, no, we saw you out here.
Good Lord! I said God earlier. I meant to say Lord. Yeah. Good Lord! That was his whoa.
Yeah, good Lord.
Whoa! Yeah. God.
But he's there, he's like, look, like, what are these snoopy people talking about? They must just have some kind of problem with me. Out of nowhere. Yeah. So apparently this cat wasn't eaten, and he's like, I've had guys working here forever. Never had no problem. You go out a couple times, all of a sudden, son of a bitch, trouble's landing on me.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, give me another shot. You give me a different card here, one that doesn't say 7 on it.
I go say kick me.
And then he's like, all right, but you're going to like Bourbon Street or whatever. The French Quarter. And
like the San Francisco of Louisiana.
Yeah. So that's when he gets the bright idea that he's going to start dressing a little. I thought he was like maybe.
Does Clyde not give him the costume?
No. I thought that maybe he wanted to.
What?
I thought maybe he wanted to disguise himself because he was like a little too close to home or something like that, and was embarrassed to be slinging weenies out there.
But why did he want to look like a?
I don't want to be.
What does the mother keep saying? I don't want to be a pirate. No, but... oh, my fuck. Why does he want to look like a Mardi Gras?
Yeah, Mardi Gras.
Seems out of character.
Yeah.
See, I thought he got stuck with the costume. Like, what's it with New Orleans culture and everyone has to wear a costume when they do something weird?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because
now... I don't know why he got that flair going, but...
Mancuso is deathly ill, stuck in the bathrooms at this point.
Icy cold bathrooms of Louisiana.
And he has a run-in with George.
Yeah, George.
And you can hear it in his pockets. He's so sick. Because he's got like pneumonia or something.
I know, he's like Frosty the Snowman when he's about to lose all the magic.
And he's desperate. He's trying to like arrest George, and George hits him in the face and steals his book or something like that.
Yeah, really ups them good.
Yeah. And I thought this George character was going to be a one-off, so I was surprised. It was, out of all the characters, it was the longest gap with this George character. Because I even had to look back and be like, where the fuck did this guy come from? Because for some of it, they were just referring to him as a young man or something like that. They weren't saying his name for a long time.
Yeah, he was like, we'll get there in a second, because... Oh, well, we kind of got to it where he flips the stand. I think he's like one of the people that helps him out there or something in that scenario, in this small-ass little simulation.
Because do you think he meets George before Dorian? Ignatius? Because Ignatius yet has to meet.
Oh,
George.
no, Dorian helps. No. That's in the Friends corner. Because George is the one who...
hides the porn in his hot dog stand.
Come on.
They make a deal.
Little journey of discovery here, guy.
Photography.
Yeah. Yeah,
photography.
He hooks up with the dude at one point. Who's like, can I stow a little package up in your cart there a couple hours a day? I don't want to take it to high school with me. That's George, right?
Yeah. And he's like, sure, as long as you watch this.
Yeah.
I have an important meeting to go to.
That's right.
And then he just goes fucks off to the movies.
Yeah, but it is a good gig though. He's like, if I can do this every afternoon, that'd be pretty awesome.
And it's kind of serendipitous for Ignatius because he's already talking about, I'd love to go to that movie. How am I going to get to that movie?
Yeah, this thing
and then
really
George
lands.
Just pops in and he's like, hey, go to the movie.
Yeah. Mention that.
He's even like after the deal's like, so can I have a hot dog? And he's like, oh, you got money?
Is he the same guy from earlier that he wouldn't sell a hot dog to? Is that what you're referring to as young man?
No.
Because like he bumps into a guy like when he's eating them all his first go around the block, or it's maybe second day. But
the confusion was when
he's just flat out and tells him it's too early in the day, makes all these annoying excuses up why he can't sell this dude a hot dog. Basically tells him to go fuck himself.
Yeah, exactly. But meet me here tomorrow.
Yeah. So maybe that's that dude. But yeah.
But it's also the dude that has his book, isn't it? Stole the book from Mancuso?
Maybe. Jumping around this little town.
I know.
Anyway, it's just one of these couple of guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, he hides these packages. Immediately, he's like, I gotta see what's in these packages.
Yeah.
Opens it up. Oh, Lord.
Oh,
God. Oh.
Yeah. And isn't
He's
it
Boethius?
And it's his book that's in the picture. Because he lent out the book.
The Boethius.
It was stolen from him. It was given to Lana Lee.
Yeah.
This is one of the pictures she took.
Yeah.
So that's why he just fell in love with this girl who's holding the book that actually is his, that he owns, with her northern region hanging out.
Yeah. And he eventually gets busted with that photo.
Yeah, by his mother.
Yeah.
And doesn't he even like send it to Myrna? Or no, he's holding it around right to the very end, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. No, it's his white whale.
Yeah. And there's like a lot of talk with, because Claude gets brought into it. Claude is actually the old guy from the beginning that got arrested.
Yeah, he's a great prospect. Like, it's almost ready to marry Irene at this point. Yeah. His mama.
Yeah.
Like, he's got money.
Yeah, he's trying to court her.
Yeah, he worked on the railway or something.
Yeah.
Has a good pension. He's a great prospect. They go on a date.
Yeah.
She's like super annoying on the date. She's always just nonstop. Oh, Ignatius is this.
Yeah,
Ignatius
exactly.
says this about this. And meanwhile, he's not like the greatest ever either. He's always like communist.
I know, he can't get away from the communism.
Yeah, he calls everything communist. So she's a
He
little
talks
bit
about
annoyed by that. She's like, oh, he says communist a little much. So she's like...
Been blacklisted from every place.
Yeah, she's got like a touch of the ick from that. But she's like, well, otherwise... but
no other prospects.
No other prospects.
No other reason to wake up in the morning.
And just like the excuses she's making on the way. She's like, well, I should just be headed out right quick. Like... Ignatius says that there's going to be a spree of break-ins tonight. Exactly. Yeah. Told him to hold up in his room until I got back.
She's been Munchausen somehow. What's the reverse of Munchausen?
8.
The 8. He is now in the French Quarter. He's just like really gets so proud of himself when Fortune is being nice to him, right?
Yeah, so he was been this cycle.
Got a little okay, go.
Yeah, where Fortuna
Gideon.
He feels like he's in the bad spins of it all.
Yeah.
And when he seems like he doesn't want to go to the French Quarter, but then all of a sudden we're finding out that he's got an earring on, he's dressed like a pirate, he's got a plastic sword on him now. It's like all these weird accents. Just throwing on accessories, trying to make... And he's feeling like Mr. Friggin' Hip there. And that's when he's up there with the sword poking around. I think that he ends up on the upside down.
I know. I think that's the part that actually made me chuckle. It's like when he got so excited he hopped up on the hot dog stand.
Yeah, he's there striking a pose or something, and the thing tips over and flips over his neck. And he's so entitled, where he's like, now everybody come and help me.
This is one of the best characters not in cinema.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Oh!
Yeah.
Such a bellowing voice.
And he's like
whoever did the narration, or like the audiobook, this guy has... It has to be talked about just as much as the writer. Right? Or not just as much, but he kills it.
He nails it.
I don't even know if I'd enjoy it as much reading it as listening to this audiobook and this guy with the accents. Oh, man, he brings so much to every character.
Yeah, deserves an Oscar.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you give? Is there bookies? Can you win a bookie?
Bookman.
A pagey?
I'm sure we're missing some plot points here now, but Miss Trixie is being taken under the wing of Mrs. Levy.
He didn't even want her at work. Now he's got her at home.
Yeah.
And she's just laying on the couch bitching.
Oh, it's just useless.
Yeah. I liked Miss Trixie up to this point.
Yeah. Those are falling apart.
Yeah.
Losing contact with her.
Yeah.
But
you hear...
Mrs. Levy is like putting her whole narrative on the thing.
I was talking about the cabins and stuff. Or what is it? The Levy Cottage or the Levy... No, resort. What do they call it? It's almost like a lodge. Levy Lodge.
Levy Lodge.
So they got like this big pimpin' area that they can just get away from it all. Hide out. And he talks about his relationship with his old man. It's like, I was like, Dad... let's make trousers or something. Oh, you don't like jeans?
Yeah.
Stupid kid.
Yeah, rigid.
Yeah. We don't make trousers.
Yeah.
Shut down everything that he ever
and she's going to start a foundation now.
Business. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Over it.
Yeah.
How disgraced his name was. She's going to bring back Leon Levi's good name there.
Yeah.
And it's so weird. Like when I read this, like I felt like it was like Levi jeans, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though it's just like this small stupid place in it, but
yeah.
I couldn't help but make that connection.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because it's Levi pants, not jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to make trousers.
See, you get the same sort of thing.
Yeah. The company is pants, not trousers. You stupid kid. So it's not even like he took over the business and was like, "This isn't for me." It's like this never was for him.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this wasn't his dream.
Yeah.
So his wife is giving him the business. Jumping back, Jones is like, whatever, still mad about his job, getting more tasks here and there. This show is coming along, like things are headed towards a point.
Yeah, you think
preparations are being made everywhere.
You start getting real tired of Lana Lee when you hear her talking about to Darlene.
Mm-hmm.
She does like a practice of her strip with the bird. She finally talked her into letting her use the bird.
Yeah.
And it's like flying around, helping her take her clothes off and stuff.
Rings.
And that's quite an act, is it not?
Yeah, no, she saw what it could do with rings, and she said, I can put rings on clothes. This will be no problem.
And then Lana Lee is saying, well, you got to have some lines. Yeah, how about you say these lines when you're doing it? Try it again. And then she can't get the line right. She fucks it up. The first word she fucks up. Lana Lee just gives her the gears.
God dang.
She's no actress.
Yeah. No,
and Jones is just there listening to the whole thing. Yeah. I think he might probably come across the packages in the cabinet around this time.
Yeah, because Lana Lee is distracted with stuff and leaves. And then he does a little peeky poo. And he realizes he's got that restraint. If he goes in and start touching stuff, whatever, it's going to be, his sabotage ain't going to go no good. So he's got a plan here.
Writes the address on the side of all the packages.
Yeah, because basically he's been lied to. They had a little bit of a package exchange earlier. And she's like, oh, yeah, no, this is going to charity. And things like that. And he's like, charity starts at home.
Yeah.
He's not buying any of this shit. And he's like, I don't know what kind of... He's like, basically like, I'm going to get something on you the whole time.
I'm going to get you.
Yeah, he's pretty friggin' transparent with his intentions there. So they stop coming around, and even that he's picking on. He's like, oh, I don't see nobody, coming around here anymore. Where's all your friends?
She's saying that he's going to have to wear a white suit and call people in from the road.
Yeah.
And he gets real pissed off about that job.
Yeah, especially closer to opening night at least.
And he's actually saying, oh yeah, I'll bring some people in. Maybe I'll bring some gross green cap freak in there.
Yeah.
He's like banking on finding Ignatius because he knows Ignatius is the guy that will ruin the spot.
Fuck. I forget his very first interaction, but it must have been before the bus, before all of that, because he must have known that they don't want him in there. To make that as a threat, but maybe not, maybe...
Well, he was there...
Must have been when he was getting the job interview. They must have bumped shoulders on the way out or something. I
think he might hear talk of Like he hears people talking.
Maybe
about
in their
him, too,
first
or-
conversation in his job interview.
Like
I don't know.
He hears like
it's in.
but like Darlene and
inconsequential.
Lana Lee are talking about him or something like that. How could they treat?
Yeah.
How could that boy treat his mother that way? Because they keep kind of talking about that, bringing that up.
Lana Lee's the top. She's got Darlene, who she treats like shit. Fucking Joan, she treats like shit. She's doing all this. Well, I guess you don't really know her is part of it. But she's got an underground business, something going on there. The porn coming from her.
Whoa, come on, man.
We already talked about.
You were working so
We
hard.
already
on that.
ripped open the box. You wanted to know what was in the
I
box?
thought you were going to edit mine out. But yeah, she's got some shit going. But there's no connection between Santa and Lana Lee, correct?
Not really. No.
There is talk about who is Gloria, correct?
Yeah, well, Miss Trixie's always like, "Oh, well, you fired Gloria." He's like, "I didn't fire no Gloria. What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
And
There
Gloria
never
was
a
nice.
Gloria, yeah, but she
And
keeps
she's
saying
definitely talking about.
and she's like, Gloria helped me with my socks.
Yeah.
So like, there's stuff that's clear evidence that when she says Gloria, she actually means Ignatius.
It feels like
even
it.
was calling Ignatius Gloria.
But was she?
Something.
Maybe she did remember that other person. Who the hell knows?
Weird, right? But another.
But
big
it feels
plot
like a misunderstanding. Like that was my thought going through it.
Another misunderstanding is when Levy hears from Abelman's
Yeah, that's quite a bit.
and finds out about this letter. I'd say it's around the same time that Dorian comes in. The other thing, because the big
I guess
stories
so.
are Levi.
Yeah.
What's Mancuso doing right now?
He's still going around. That's
got
for sure.
pneumonia.
Because Dorian, they see him coming for the first time in a while during their conversation.
And it really makes you think that Miss Riley might get with Mancuso just because of the mutual of Santa. Like they're always kind of like around each other in the same room, and she doesn't seem quite comfortable with Claude. So I was like, is Mancuso? He's already comparing it to his dad. Is Mancuso gonna end up being Ignatius' dad?
that did not
be
even
fucked up.
cross my mind for some reason.
Because it
She was in
seems
a
like
love
secretly she's
triangle.
kind of asking more questions about Angelo. When she's not asking shit about Claude.
Well, she is always defending him,
Yeah.
talking about what a bad rap. And they have a lot of like repeated stuff too.
Yeah.
Like when Santa is talking or something, they'll be like, they'd say, "Mom, you got a heavy hand with garlic." And then she'd be like, because I got a heavy hand with garlic.
Yeah. I didn't pick up on that. That's funny. Garlic.
And so that's Santa, but Irene is also be like, that Angelo's got a real hard deal. He's got a hard deal.
Yeah, exactly.
He's out there doing this shit, not getting any closer to it, but sticking through it. But you're right, maybe there's a little more to the triangle. Maybe that's why she's not as interested in Claude, even though he's a good prospect. But
And you see him, like, I can picture him shivering, red nose, he's got the pneumonia.
oh yeah, vivid.
I feel bad for Mancuso. Maybe this should be an anime. Don't you think?
Yeah, that would be
That'd be
better. Or a mini series. Just throwing it out there.
12
Is that out
episodes.
in- That's 4. 4-hour long one. So yeah, he's out there in the French Quarter now, and something happens, and he ends up in this situation with, oh, you brought up Abelman. I'm not sure what all happens around this part, but these are kind of in the same vein, where he's out there and meets Dorian Green.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's one of those people that help, but they end up in a little bit of a scrap. And he gets cutlassed in it. And
you have torn my sweater.
Yeah, so like they're like threatening litigation on each other. He's like, well, I'm going to sue you. Well, then we'll have to drop this whole thing if we're just going to both sue each other.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like, oh, no, you're fun. He loves getting on well with Ignatius.
Yeah.
But he's really like, he's feeding.
Yeah. Well, he's loving the costume because he looks like a Mardi Gras.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And like they see someone walking around in a sailor costume. Timmy.
And
he's like, he's not even really a sailor.
That, you know what?
Like these guys are,
that's the
YMCA,
seed. That's
right?
the seed of the new big thing that he's after here. Because, like, he's always looking to launch this revolution. Yeah. And he just found a new way, potentially, as he's making this revelation here. So, in this moment, he's like, Timmy. How do you know Timmy? The serviceman. But what's Dorian say?
That's not he's not a sailor.
What? What do you mean he's not a sailor?
Someone could just be dressed up like something?
Yeah, he's like stolen valor. Like,
what?
He's like, what? He's like, this... Everyone could be like this. We could have a totally unprotected country. There's no one protecting the country because they're all phonies.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No. But basically, he gets it in his head that all war could end if it all can be orgies. Yeah. And this is a good concession to make to turn this into Sodom and Gomorrah altogether.
But at first he's totally against it. But then he's like, matter of fact, that might be the way to solve all war.
Yeah.
The next war will be one big orgy. It's like, oh, that damn Myrna will love this.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he talks Dorian, or the conversation leads to him having a big, what do they call it? He's going to speak some gospel to this group of Mardi Gras.
He wants to, like, there's going to be a party, and at first he's against the idea of costumes, but then he's like, you know what? A few costumes could be good here.
Yeah. I know what I'm wearing.
Yeah. He's like, then they see Mancuso coming up the road, and much to Dorian's delight, he's in a new outfit, and that's when they prattle off all the different things. She's like, my buddy loves when he's dressed as the astronaut, and this guy...
Yeah, he's kind of like a Mardi Gras too.
He was talking about, like, one day was a cowboy, and then the next day he comes and he's acting like he's a tourist from Cleveland. Not a tourist, like a student.
Yeah. And this is right after he's in the bathroom and has that conflict with George. And George, because he's like, this is when he's like, I had enough of the bathroom. He's got the pneumonia. He's super sick. He's like, I got to get out of here. And Dorian's like, we haven't seen him in a while. Me and the boys thought it was funny to get him arrested.
Yeah, got him arrested a few times.
I was like, finally!
And all the pandemonium that ensues with the confusion of the cops there when they're arresting him.
And it was Dorian that slapped him.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Damn that Dorian Green.
Yeah, so they're going to set up a party. They're going to figure out a time that's going to work for everybody. And they're going to do this thing.
The word that they use where it's like, it's him, Gala. He's going to be... No, it's something political.
convention, no.
Anyways, it's gonna be him talking everyone into joining him into this like actual political party,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and he can't wait to tell Myrna about this. So he's all hyped up about this. He's like, "This is my calling." He's forgot all about his book, it seems.
Oh no. Well, it informs some of.
But then he decides that he finds the package. Because I think George just gave him the picture, maybe?
No, he tore it open. The second that
So he goes.
he needed to know what cargo he was transporting. And because Jones had written the address, he did eventually figure out where he needs to go to find the woman of his dreams.
Yeah. Is the hot dog stand... Does Mancuso get to look in the hot dog stand?
No, I think maybe he's breaking down on the syndicate some other way.
Yeah.
He's either getting the info from Irene down through the pipe, because there's like the point. Well, I don't know if they're going that well again, because there's the point where he's getting the information and they don't accept it. Is that information about the porno? Where'd you hear about that?
No, that happened. No, that was long before. It would have had to be. That was so high in my notes.
Meh.
But we'll go with it.
We'll go with it. Who cares?
Yeah. But he ends up going to the address and seeing Jones outside.
Yeah, oh
and
yeah.
Jones is so happy to see this green-capped freak.
Yeah, it works perfectly with his sabotage. Falling right into his lap. Because he had written this address hoping that it'll bring someone back that is in the syndicate, and he can, use it against Lana
Lee.
Yeah.
And so he's really hyping it up, saying that Ignatius has to come back at a certain time because he's going to love Darlene.
Yeah, he's not giving him any spoilers. Won't let him know what kind of pet she's going to have.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's like another one of the things. And that only comes up after the cat thing, too, that he likes pets so much.
Yeah.
Where he's like, oh, she's got a pet, too? Like, and Boethius?
Yeah.
This my lucky day. Fortuna.
Fortuna, you dog.
You sly dog.
Yeah. He goes home.
But it's like, come back in a few days for this show.
Yeah.
He's going to be headed back there eventually. A couple more chapters.
Yeah. So this is probably when Myrna gets back to him, saying that it's not a good idea to go through with this.
No. She finds it, he's losing his marbles here all over the place.
He's like, I've been talking to my group meetings about you.
Yeah.
They're all very worried.
Yeah.
They say that I should snatch you up and bring you to Manhattan so they can meet you. And does it go right into the party? I just don't want to skip over anything.
Well, it does head there, but I think probably we become aware of some of the Abelman thing.
Yeah, okay.
Around this point.
Oh, because Levi, the mother is just freaking right out. And I think it might be about the porn. And she's like, Levi has been calling the house over and over. No, it's actually Santa that's pitching him out.
Yeah.
She's like, you better answer the phone next time he calls. And he gets on the phone with him. And he's like, Mr. Ignatius has been checked into the psych ward because of you.
Yeah, the charity.
Yeah, and you have not yet received the check.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be costly, I fear.
Yeah. Yes, he accepts visitors. Like he's got.
So pushing it.
Yeah. I got a house in the Hamptons.
Yeah.
All right. And then
this is the most George's character.
Miss Levy.
Living in a society.
Miss Levy actually thinks that, oh, well, you can't be as stupid as we think. If he's pulling a fast one on us, we actually went to visit. He wasn't there.
Yeah. But, this letter hath arrived.
And it's like starting a huge lawsuit.
Yeah, 500,000 they're being charged with because of how insulting this letter to Abelman was. And they're like, what the fuck? Who wrote this thing? And they're like, getting to the bottom of it.
But they were told... Did Levy meet... Oh, no. It came through the grapevine because Jones told the guy that worked at Levy Pants that Ignatius had some trouble with the law.
Oh, yeah.
And then it goes through the grapevine that Levy knows that this guy had a history with the cops. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I told you this guy was bad news.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. To his wife. And she's basically telling him still, you're just an idiot, pal.
But there's something that, with the whole Gloria thing, there's something that they put together with Gloria, even though she's clearly calling Ignatius Gloria.
Well, they bring up who he fired.
Yeah.
And she's like, Gloria. And he's like, well, I don't know, Gloria. But I fired this other guy who was creating a riot amongst all the workers. Yeah. So she's like, oh, well, I hate convertibles. It's just the worst.
Yeah.
And whatever.
So he shows up at the party.
Yeah, let's just jump to the party. And he's having a hell of a time there. He's navigating through it. They're trying to get him to dance with other dudes.
Yeah, they're like bumping into him and stuff.
And then he meets 3 lesbians in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I forget their names,
One's
but every
Betty.
Time one's Betty. And the 3 names are always together in a sentence, basically. And they're not the kind of people that you can invite to the party.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they'll crash it.
Yeah.
But they just give Ignatius the shit. They're throwing full cans of beer at him and shit. They end up...
taking him down to the ground and stuff.
Yeah, they end up taking him out completely. And it becomes a whole scene. A whole shameful scene. Yeah. This is really like the unraveling of everything. I know. They're like, his mom is at her wit's end with this.
Yeah. And this is just... the roller coaster of this is that everything that he gets hyped up for always goes to shit. But you think, like, okay, maybe this is the one. Maybe this is the one that takes. Right? But he's, like, already having such a hard time. They walk into this room and Timmy's just chained up. He goes into the green room.
Fucking A.
Like, what kind of party is this? And then he does try to conduct order. And then the lesbians just take him out.
Yeah, they're just like, this is no fun.
Make him look like a sub.
Like, they did not... He was a vibe killer at this party. Yeah. But yeah, he ends up in a scuffle.
So he goes, and he's like so pissed off. And he's like, Fortuna, you vicious slut! after the party. He's so pissed off, and then he finds the card, or he thinks about going. It's the same night that he can go to the Night of Joy, and he's like, maybe.
Oh, that's right. Maybe I'll just go here instead.
Yeah, maybe my night will be ripped out of the jaws of failure after all. So he shows up ready for the show.
Yeah, and expecting that Lana Lee won't be there.
Yeah.
That was another thing that Joe's told, like, yeah, don't worry. No, Darlene is, she's so good now, she says she don't need to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's going to go sit on a beach.
Because he doesn't like Lana Lee.
Or the guy in the green cap.
Yeah.
Just sabotage.
Yeah. So he brings him in. And
sits him up front.
Yeah, sits him up front. And then, did you listen to this part on the audiobook?
Yeah,
the Latin woman?
Huh?
The bartender, the Latin woman? It's like, whoa! It made me feel a lot better about the accents that we do on the podcast. But she's the one who's like trying to make him cough up money for the champagne. Like,
oh, yeah.
Where's the check?
Yeah, they're like, no Dr. Nut, no Coca-Colas, no nothing. Just champagne tonight.
Yeah, $24.
$24, that's expensive.
Yeah.
On any day.
Yeah.
Even present.
The show ends up coming out. Darlene and the bird.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And what is
when
the bird
things go haywire?
like more than anything? Gold earrings. Or rings of any type.
What great foreshadowing. This is a hoop.
Yeah. Slam dunk. As the bird goes off stage.
Off script.
Yeah, surprising, right? The bird goes off stage and rips the earring off of Ignatius.
Unreal.
Causes quite the scene.
Oh.
And this is when
Lord.
he goes running out. And there's a bus coming. And it kind of holds on it that you don't know if he got hit by it or not. Because it just cuts to.
Cuts to.
But because it's cutting like in and out of the bar.
Sure, yeah.
But this is when Mancuso arrives on scene.
Right, so this is where all of this is going now.
And Lana Lee must have been there.
This is the shame. This is the shame.
Yeah.
Lana Lee was definitely around. I think she was like all pissed off that he was there. If I wouldn't be mistaken. Yeah. But what I was gonna say is, like, I was thinking that the photo was of Darlene for some reason. I
was questioning it actually.
Yeah, but it's definitely Lana Lee that's the photo. That's what I feel.
Yeah,
she's the model.
He never met Lana Lee.
No.
He only met Darlene.
Yeah.
So yeah, the picture was Lana Lee. And Lana Lee got the book from George. So that makes sense. But yeah, everything comes crashing down. Mancuso somehow arrives when all this is going down, and then
he works
capitalizes on it, and this is his big break. Mm-hmm. So he takes down the whole syndicate, the ring that Lana Lee had going on.
Yeah.
Ties it to George somehow too, I think.
Going to juvie.
They're all in the paper.
Oh yeah, they're making the big time. And that's when Ignatius wakes up in the hospital.
Yeah.
And his mom's just filled with the shame. Family, friends, relatives.
You done it now, boy.
Yeah. Everyone's privy to his debaucherous lifestyle. Now that she's seen all this trouble coming too. And she's been talking to Santa, who all this time has just been a device to, really get her head on straight and stop worrying about that boy.
Yeah.
Knows that trying to get her to put him in that charity hospital for a long time now. Yeah. Weeks, I guess, or something.
Yeah. Weeks. Everything's less back in the day.
Yeah.
And she's talking about how she's been meeting with Claude.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
he's even tickled about how he's in the newspaper.
Yeah,
even though it's a picture of him laying on the side of the road.
Only brushed up against him or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he was not hit on the bus. He's just prone to these fainting spells.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And then he has another erection.
Oh, yeah. He asked for her to leave for 5.
Yeah, I know. So this guy is out of the contest indefinitely.
That's true. That's a tell right there.
Yeah. You must leave the room for 5 minutes. And then he calls out to be like, okay, it's okay to come back in now.
And it's going to be $20 to get his carcass out of there.
Yeah.
And they're like, where are we going to come up with that money? And so Claude's willing to chip in for it.
Yeah.
And he's not willing to take that charity.
Yeah.
But he does.
Because Claude actually shows up and everything.
Yeah.
And then you get Darlene and Jones have a little going off where it's they both know that they don't have jobs anymore. Yeah. She said that she has a couple of recruits. Mm-hmm. She can go work at another bar.
Yeah, he's gonna be a vagrant.
Yeah, he's like, there's no other option for me.
Yeah, he's like, sabotage myself right out of a job there.
Didn't think of that. Yeah. He's got the bandana bag on a stick.
Yeah, used to make some money, now I don't make any money.
Yeah, shit.
Whoa! Maybe I'll go steal some cashews now.
Yeah.
Go back to jail.
And then Mr. Levy. So we got to wrap that up. Because they're coming... Do they ever actually meet Ignatius after?
So... Maybe... I was
doing so good. Why didn't I take more notes?
Maybe not. But he gets his upper hand. I'm not sure if it's around this point. But what?
Well, because there's a way that it all just gets blamed on Trixie.
Yeah. Well...
The whole letter and everything, they're just let's just blame her.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a point where... they go through the documents or whatever. He's like, I'm willing to show you that everything that I wrote was benevolent and good for the company. I'm a company man.
Yeah.
And then Trixie.
He comes home and Levi's just waiting on the doorstep.
Pretty much, yeah. And that's when he does that. But yeah, the way it comes down with Trixie is they're like, did you write this letter? And she's looking at it with a magnifying glass. And she doesn't really say either way. But then they finally do retire her and give her a severance kind of thing. And they're just sign this one thing that says...
You're getting sued, not us.
Basically. And they're this will, easily smooth things over. And his wife just goes bananas at this. Because, she's like, how could Miss Trixie do this to us? And then he's like, well, things are going to be good for me.
I'm going to start selling Hawaiian pants.
Yeah, shorts.
Yeah, sure.
We're branching out to shorts. We're going to save money on fabric. Yeah. We only have to go half the length of the leg.
They're not popping the tops, they're popping the bottoms.
Yeah, he's finally doing his own thing, defying Dad, and back on top.
Yeah, shorts.
Yeah.
I found that pretty funny.
Yeah. Like, after she was such a piece of shit, she was like, lucky my mom has a little bit of money. You're going to be in the curb. You'll be back with a wagon pushing this pants around. And she's like, and your daughters, they're probably never going to talk to you again. And
It doesn't seem to faze him.
so now he's like, well, I'm going to have these things. I can do whatever I want. And she's like, man, you always end up on top, piece of shit.
Boom. Resolved.
Resolved.
Jones. Boom. Resolved.
No, actually, he also gives Jones a job. Or
Jones does get the job.
yeah, this is he's gonna get a job. He's gonna get probably some alright money.
Proper pay. Shoots.
Yeah, yeah.
Whoa.
They're out to help him now.
Yeah.
They love him.
Boom. Resolved.
Resolved.
Darlene got a job working at another strip club. Boom. Resolved.
Meanwhile,
Claude, Santa, and Irene are saying, you know what?
we're gonna be going to put old Riley in Charity Hospital.
Get him picked up.
Yeah.
And quick. But not quicker than Myrna shows up.
What happenstance? Just right on his doorstep. It must have just hit a boiling point with their little pen palisms.
Yeah.
And she's like, I gotta show up there. I gotta do it. Like, maybe the thing was kind of leaning towards that in those letters where she's like, oh, maybe I should come get you.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. So she finally did it. She finally shows up.
At the same time, I didn't expect it.
No. You never thought she'd...
It's getting early. No, I didn't think she was actually going to make the trip. And I can see that this establishing shot has to play out like it did. It was so effective when you finally saw the girlfriend in Spun.
Mm-hmm. It just like tilts up.
There's so much build up to her character. I think that it would really help if you never actually saw her until this point. Like you see like the back of her head as she's writing the letters or something like that. I don't know how you'd play it. So you really make a meal out of this.
See her
and she finally shows up.
Her pigtails or whatever the hell.
And she could look just exact opposite of what you're expecting. Because they never get like a description of her, really, do you? Does it say pigtails?
Yeah. She's got something, or a braid on the sides. You do get a little bit of a description of her at one.
It goes back to the teacher at one point, just if he sees the newspaper.
Can't stand you.
Can't stand you. Boom, resolved.
Was it?
So now it's him and Myrna, and but he knows that he's gonna get picked up too.
Oh,
he's like, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
He's like, we need to hurry.
Quick, to my room.
Yeah, we gotta go grab all my shit, all my letters, all my whatever.
She's got the annoying guitar strapped to her.
Oh my god, yeah. She's like talking about how she got kicked out of a diner or something on the way down. He's like, probably because of the stupid guitar that dumb bitch.
Yeah. And he's like, we gotta leave. We gotta go all the way to Manhattan now. She's like, I just drove here straight. I need to sleep.
Well, actually, he's like, maybe we should go to a hotel and like...
Which you think the scene is gonna be in here. Where's the scene, man?
He makes mention. He's like, we gotta go do it right now. She's like, no.
Yeah. She's not into it? Oh my god, you gained so much weight.
Yeah.
Was it the slobbering on her... Oh yeah, he's slobbering on her pigtail. He keeps pushing her pigtail against his wet mustache.
Oh god.
They're referring to it as a soggy pigtail.
Wow.
Shit.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just getting the ick off him now again.
Yeah, no. Like,
Yeah.
she's like, "You're really gonna sit back there?" And she's grabbing all the tablets and stuff like that.
The tablets. Fucking, what is he? Fucking Moses.
See, you could make this modern, just tablets everywhere.
Like a rune stick.
And then she's like putting the guitar in back with him. He's like, "Oh, good Lord, must you have this in back with me?"
Oh my god, yeah, he's giving the guff there. He's like, "Oh, it's gonna be cold in Manhattan.
Yeah.
I can't take that." Yeah, so he's finally ready to leave this place. What am I trying to say? Like, not in a second too soon.
Yeah.
And so they decide not going to go all the way there, but they're going to get at least a comfortable distance away.
Yeah.
Going up the causeway.
Yeah.
If you're doing the Google map along with it.
Yeah. And he passes Baton Rouge, so he's like officially farther than he's ever been before.
Yeah, I guess so. When his valve opens.
Yeah, his valve opens.
He has, in the audio book, there's like one really off inflection there when you can tell that he's getting too far on her nerves. Like, she's like, "Well, I maybe shouldn't have bothered doing this." And he's like, basically like, "Oh, come here, baby."
No,
it's like
in the car while they're driving.
Yeah.
I know, and he just starts sucking on her pigtail again from the back.
Yeah.
And then it's just drive into the distance.
But what did we?
I thought it should have ended with like the most horrible sexual experience.
Yeah, nothing. No, still
no post-credit scene.
Still a virgin.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Do they pass like the mom and them on the way out?
I don't think so. The way that I always pictured it, and always, I mean, for the past 2 weeks, no, maybe not even, is them driving away and then you like seeing the big van that would come pick you up in the distance pulling into the driveway like they just got away. I don't think they ever actually see the mother or anything like that.
No.
Do we see the mother after that? I'm not sure.
I feel like the ambulance is on the way to pick them up.
Yeah.
That's
it
like
definitely is on the way.
Like they're about to arrive.
And he had a conversation on the phone with his mom.
This is the dovetail, though. This is like. But he doesn't seem to care that he's leaving. His mom doesn't want to leave a note or anything. Say
he knows
goodbye.
that he betrayed her. Yeah, he didn't leave a note. What the fuck?
Damn.
Rest in peace to him. Oh, Ignatius murder moaned.
He's dodging a bullet, though. He seems to be getting out just in the nick of time.
I know, and it's so funny because you think that...
that middle one clicked, by the way, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like they're going to get away and everything's going to look brighter on the other side for Ignatius, but you know, they're probably not even making it back to Manhattan.
No, I don't know. It's a weird one.
I wish you at least got to the hotel. Just for, even if it just didn't happen, but just that's would have been the perfect way to end it, rather than just driving off into the distance.
Nobody wants this guy to get fucked.
Do you think, where do you think John Kennedy Toole would have took his novels from here? Do you think that, I don't know if there would
I
have
don't
been
know.
a part
It is
two?
like a J.D. Salinger kind of thing.
Keep it going?
Nah, I don't know if he would have ever. He might have been one of those one and done guys, or like one major work.
Come on, man.
Well, like
Thelma's probably still with us, bro.
like Harper Lee there, the one To Kill a Mockingbird.
Okay.
Wrote that one.
Yeah.
Didn't do like anything until like not even that long ago, like 10, 15 years ago or whatever, that Ghost at a Watchtower or whatever came out. But, you know what I mean? Maybe it would have been one of those sort of things where another good one would have come out. But it would have to be like so much different. I think it would have just come off differently or something.
Yeah.
Because it feels like so much of that life experience and like every dimension within this guy must have went into this.
I wonder how much was, really taken from personal experience.
Yeah, so it's like crazy that it went from a cult classic kind of thing to mainstream, but still nobody like knows about it. But it was always one, like I feel like I've always known about it. Just like a Tropic of Cancer or something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even though I wouldn't have like read it, or like Naked Lunch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like when you hear dunce or dunce cap, like this is like, I think of Confederacy of Dunces. It's like feels like Comedy of Errors, or a turn of phrase like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was wild, man.
But now you've been through
I was surprised how
classic
into
literature
it I was getting.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I don't know if, like, it's almost like postmodern, like a lot of the stuff that I get into, like the way White Noise is, or, or Inherent Vice, something like that, where, all the people get names like Bigfoot and...
Well, I'm definitely with it. I would love to see this, how someone would make this a feature film.
Yeah. It falls right into the category of like Catch-22.
Yeah.
Like, I think they might have made that into a film, but like the whole scenario of that book, you know what that... So it's basically about an a jet fighter. And the quandary of a Catch-22 is meant to be like, if you're crazy enough to do it, like fly a jet, you need to be like smart enough to fly a jet, but also crazy enough to. And they're like contradicting.
Yeah.
So you can't like plead insanity. Like there's no way to get out of doing it because there's probably a better way to describe it. But I think this dude can't get out of the Air Force because to quit you need to be like insane, but then you have to be smart to fly a jet or something.
No, I dig it. You good?
It's one of...
I thought that something happened to the audio. But yeah, I'd love to see Confederacy Dunces, the film. I'd love to see Journals of a Working Boy, or Up from Sloth, the film. Check out those flashbacks. I know you'd be loving those flashbacks.
The flashback. Oh yeah, so it's paradoxal.
I definitely think that the most well-rounded resolution, I know he's my boy, but like Jones getting the job was nice.
Yeah,
That was cool.
It does have some happier tie-ups for like how it just drops at the end. And like there's another book, Broom in the System, that ends much like sharper than this, or like more of a cool off.
Yeah.
Like it's all leading towards something, and then like the wrong guy gets the girl kind of scenario.
Yeah, the film could definitely use... I don't know. I just don't like the drive off.
Oh yeah, so the catch-22 is that in order to like get out of the Air Force, you need to be crazy. But anyone who wants to get out of combat duty isn't crazy.
Yeah, okay. That's funny. And have you read this?
Yeah, it was a couple years ago.
Yeah. Funny if you see the car driving off into the distance and then it just pulls over and he gets out and the car just keeps going.
He is the kind of guy he'd leave on the side of the road. Grow tired. Big character.
Yeah.
Big character.
I just have such a vision of a lot of it that I would love to see what someone else would come up with.
I like the anime idea.
That'd be cool, eh? Why not? Why not get 50 artists involved?
If you can find that many people that will...
You know who would have made a great Ignatius, rest in peace? Hoffman.
Too short.
What's with you and Too Short? Aren't we out of LA?
Fucking A.
Too Short, baby. I'm so bored.
I forgot that just came up. The Too Short thing. And I was like perplexed in that scenario.
Yeah.
But this time, like, fucking heels dug in. I'm like, too short, too short. Thought you'd be taller.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it. Anime. Get JD on the horn. Getting drawn up some Confederacy.
Yeah. So, unlike any book you've checked out.
Oh, definitely. And thank you to the voiceover man. I think he made the book for me as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we'll find some way to shout him out on
And
this.
it's funny because the just how it works, like the intro was read by this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like who I'm listening to is the guy reading it. Like the guy who wrote it isn't the guy who's reading it.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't the publisher.
Yeah.
That does the epilogue.
Yeah, no, true enough. Yeah, that's just at the beginning of the book. That's like the first page or whatever. But it feels like the delivery makes you feel like it's that guy.
Yeah, so it seems like so intimate of a reading. But it took me like a couple chapters to be like, oh, well, this isn't the same guy. He's not publishing it and doing the audio book.
Yeah, he's the fucking one-man banding it.
Yeah, exactly. Just championing.
Fuck.
Yeah.
But it would have to be probably a couple episodes or something.
Yeah, I'm down for a miniseries.
Yeah. We thought it could be in one movie, one slick little presentation, but clearly it got to pull it out. 2 parts.
Yeah, well, I don't even think we have to do this in 2 parts. Just one 13-hour episode.
Making a stand.
Yeah.
2 parts VHS.
Yeah, I probably should have did this on there. Ah, sweet. Sweet.
Oh, I need a sheet.
Oh, Lord. Whoa. This is another, just another hub of references to come in the podcast from now on.
Oh, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Onwards and upwards. May Fortuna.
Oh, Fortuna. Yeah. I guess we're going to have to ask her to spin that wheel, aren't we?
Yeah, it sucks when it lands on something that isn't a movie yet.
Yeah. Well, it might not be filmable, but it's definitely castable.
True enough.
Got that in the bag.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. Live up to the hype? Whatever hype it had.
The hype was you, so yeah, I guess. It actually is a lot better.
But it was a couple of years in the making.
But you didn't hype it up enough, I feel.
Yeah.
Or I just didn't listen to you as much. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure since you figured this might be a good thing for an episode, you downplayed it enough that I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. Forget how long ago. I'll have to look on my Goodreads to figure out when I first checked this out. Because I've probably been going on it for about it for a couple of years.
Alright, well, you do that.
Nerd! That one's probably still going.